What's good, Giants fans? You know who this is, Fist Vegas, the hardest voice in sports, the bully of the Giants community. Oh, no, 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 no. The muscle of the Giants community. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to protect us from all Eagle fans, Cowboy fans, Washington fans, and evildoers alike. Okay. Unfortunately, my powers have been drained because of Joe Judge, Daniel Jones' neck, and free sodas. I'm sorry about that. But luckily, I have a partner in crime tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're going to unite our superpowers to give y'all a great show, take y'all mind off this drama. None other than, I will humbly say this, the voice of the Giants YouTube community, Chris the Entertainah.
Hey man, I'm happy to be back on. Definitely, I want to get you on my channel. Maybe next week. I want to do a roundtable. Long time coming. Haven't done this with you in a while, so I'm excited to be back on. You brought up the sodas, man. I saw that on Twitter today. I was like, that's in like don't even give us anything. Like if you're gonna, you might as well just give us like a garbage bag so we could put it over our head. At least give us that. As we go to the stadium, like they give us all a free medium Pepsi for going to the game. That's the appreciation they show us after winning like what 12 or 13 games in the last 4 years. Like that was an embarrassing gesture by the New York Giants.
I can't believe you said who's. And this is let's just get straight to it, Chris. This is the issue with the Giants. Who signs off on these mirror decisions? Does he just overrule people with an iron fist, or does he have like a conglomerate? Like, I need to know. Is it him or the people around him? Because the fact that he even approved the free sodas and we're like, and we're so trash. I need to know. I need to know how the front office works, man. I need to know the structure.
I don't know, man. I mean, they've been making the same horrible decision. This just goes back to every other bad decision they've made over the last 5 years. So it's just in line with everything else. But it's just another stupid decision by Mara or whoever else makes these decisions. But this team's just been a disaster all year. I just hope things get better next year. But I say that every year, and they don't seem to get much better.
No, they don't. Shout out to Donnie. What up, Donnie? Donnie says, Chris, I am sorry for badmouthing you on one of your vids. It was out of ignorance, and I hope you forgive your boy.
Don, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I get so many comments. I don't remember what you said. So I forgive you. You might have told me that my mother's fat or that you want to kill me or whatever. I get so many comments and some hate comments, just like this guy in your chat right now. What's his name? I just saw Billy Mays, man. I appreciate it. Don't give a blank about this guy. Where's Best at? Billy, man, thank you so much for tuning in the stream, man. I don't really give a blank about you either. So
let it out, Chris. Let it out. You think Billy Mays be talking reckless?
I honestly don't give two shits about you, Billy Mays.
Hey, see, this is that Fist Vegas atmosphere. I told you, like something happens to people when they come on my platform. It's like they come on my platform and it's just like times 10. You know what I'm saying? But Billy Mays Pest will be back next Friday. Okay, normally my Fridays are with Pest on my other channel. We do like game picks and talk about random stuff like Chinese food and ugly women. But
you love Chinese. Every time I come on your channel, you talk about Chinese food. You love Chinese
yes, I love my Chinese food, and they need to respect that. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to get me to eat other stuff, and I don't appreciate that. But so all right, so I gotta ask you. So it hasn't been 2 years, but it's been 2 years. So the last time we did a show together was a draft show, pre-show for the 2020 draft.
Okay.
And you and I had the biggest debate we've ever had. We did a year of podcast together, Chris, and the biggest debate we ever had was what was more important to Daniel Jones, the offensive line or the skill position. Now, 2 drafts later, okay, you got your draft in 2020. We took all the hog mollies in the world. We took in 2020, right?
Right.
We ignored the skill positions, okay, and we suffered for that. Okay, the Daniel Jones is out there throwing to the corpse of Golden Tate, that bum Slayton, and God knows what else. I don't even remember. All right, and then I had my way last year. All right, we got Tony. And we drafted a wide receiver in the first round. So I must say, Chris, 2 years later, it's a draw. Because at the end of the day, when Daniel Jones, it's no point in giving Daniel Jones time when Darius Slayton and Evan Ingram cost us victories. There's no point. They're trash. Okay. Evan Ingram kept us out of the playoffs. And Darius Slayton, I feel like he ruined the season on Thursday Night Football earlier this year. And you were right, Chris. The offensive line is just, there's no workaround for it. It's just so bad.
We have one offensive lineman, that's Andrew Thomas.
That's it.
I'm going to still say I was right. I mean, I think we need both. Don't get me wrong. He definitely needed weapons too, but goes back to what I said probably in that podcast. Like, you could have all the weapons in the world. If you can't block, it don't mean nothing. And the Giants went out there. They got Tony. They got, and granted, there's been injuries. There's been injuries to the weapons. There's been injuries to the line. You know, if we're being fair, if we're being completely honest, Lemieux got hurt before the year started. Nick Gates got hurt like at the beginning of the year. So there were definitely injuries to the line, but I'm going to always have my theory in terms of how to build a football team. And you can't maximize your talent, whether it be the wide receiver, whether it be the quarterback, whatever, unless you could block properly. And I'm not saying they got to be elite, but you got to at least put out a decent to good offensive line. And this offensive line is absolutely pathetic. We can't establish a ground game. Without establishing a ground game, it limits your ability to be able to throw the football. So, and some of it falls on Jones too, you know, but we need to fix a lot. And this offseason, I'm going to be standing on my soapbox again, and it's going to be like 2020 all over again. I'm going to be screaming about taking offensive linemen again.
Now, here's the thing, right? Because I feel like you're right. I'm going to concede that because but the Bengals did it. The Cardinals did it. They built skill positions, and then the Bengals still don't have an offensive line. They took Jamar Chase. And
they took a first round lineman a couple of years ago, got hurt the first year. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, I didn't agree with that pick. And obviously they're looking pretty good so far. Chase looks great. I thought they should have taken a lineman this year, but obviously Jamar, I mean, it could work either way. I'm not saying there's not one way to build a team. That's just the way I would always build it.
Cause like, I just feel like without skill position players, we don't you look at what Travis Kelce did last night. Look at the catches that Mike Williams makes for Herbert last night. And I just feel like, yeah, you needed offensive line, but damn it, if we had a real tight end or number one receiver so he wouldn't have to throw to Ingram, we won the division last year. We're a drop ball from winning that division last year. It was terrible, but guess what? Fist doesn't care. A division win is a division win. And I'm just like, I'm at a point now where I'm going to say something you never thought I'd say, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to end up with picks 4 and 5 because the Jets are going to beat the Jaguars, which will give them one more win than us.
But one of us has to win because we play the Bears.
Yeah, but so, okay, we'll probably end up with
4 and 6. We'll say 5 and 6. 5 and 6.
Yeah, 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6. They both need to be linemen. We need to take
Holy
the best
crap,
tackle. I have come to the dark side, Chris. Make room on the Hog Molly bandwagon for me. I can't do it with this line no more.
I'm with you, man. I mean, I've been crying about it for 12 years. So, and I'm not saying that has to be what they do. Like, if there's an elite edge rusher that drops and they want to take him and take a lineman, maybe take a lineman with that first, second round pick, I'm okay with that. But they need to spend heavy, draft compensation on the offensive line. They need a center and they need another tackle. They got to get the line situated. And you just made me ecstatic that you said that.
Yes, Neil and Lindenbaum, just do it. Just do it. I don't care if we're overdrafting Lindenbaum if we take him like the 5th pick. I don't care. Just fix the damn line.
Fish, do you think I want to talk about the line as much? I don't. I want it to be good enough to the point where I don't feel the need to have to come on YouTube and talk about the line. I want to talk about the wide receivers. I want to talk about the running back. Good teams don't talk about their line because they don't worry about it. But it's been a problem of ours for 12 years. So I'm glad that you're seeing the light. I'm glad that you're coming to the dark side, as you said. And hopefully the new GM, because we know it ain't going to be Gettleman.
Don't jinx it. I'm tired of y'all saying that. Don't jinx it. He ain't been fired yet, okay? Please don't jinx it.
He
gone. Not been fired yet. Okay, y'all keep just assuming that John Mara. Because all right. So let me read these 2 super chats and we'll get straight to that since you brought up Gettleman. Shout out to Donnie. He says, "For real, Chris, you look just like Jerry Seinfeld."
I've never heard that.
I can see it. A little bit.
I'm gonna have to look at Jerry Seinfeld after. Maybe. I know he's got like curly hair, not but I'll take a look after. I'll take a look after.
You don't watch Seinfeld? You don't watch the show?
No, I do. I'm just trying to remember
Oh,
exactly what he looks like.
I'm about to say it's like my favorite sitcom.
Seinfeld's great.
Yes.
Seinfeld. I haven't watched it in probably 7 or 8 years, but I used to watch it all the time.
They put it on Netflix and I binge watched it for like a
I
whole
saw
week.
that. Yeah, I saw it's on Netflix now.
I love Seinfeld. It's certain things just don't get old. Like when Jerry is dating that girl and she thought he was picking his nose and he stalked her to prove that he wasn't a nose picker. It's like it's not funny, but it's funny. I can't explain it. If you don't understand Seinfeld, you just
I think what
stay over
Seinfeld is,
there.
it's a show that like it's like everyday things that are relatable.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what makes it funny. It's like things that you and me go through every day that you could relate to, and you make light of it because you could understand what they're going through.
Yeah, it's like people too complicated. Oh, we need storylines and love scenes and things have to be connected universes. No, just let George complain about his parents and I'm happy. I'm a simple creature. Shout out to my guy Alex. Fisk always brings the fire and Chris brings the much needed analysis. Miss seeing this duo.
What's up, Alex? Man, I appreciate you for popping in, man. Fish certainly brings fire. There's no denying that.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to. You know what I'm saying? So I got to turn up the heat, and I'm about to turn up the heat on you because at the end of the day, I need to know how you feel about this. Joe Judge, my guy, General Joe Judge. Okay, Mister Burn timeouts like he's an NBA coach. Joe Judge. Okay, this guy. You said in when we was chopping it up before the show, you made a statement. You said you don't think they're gonna fire Judge, right?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say definitively, but let's put it this way. I'm definitely leaning that I think he's gonna be back.
Yeah, the way he's walking around, the swagger he has, I think he's coming back too. Which leads me to my next question: why fire Gettleman then?
You want my honest answer?
Of course.
To make the fans happy. That's the only reason.
Damn, Chris.
That's the truth. It's the pound of flesh. Because if you keep Judge, you're right. You're not going to get much of a change in terms of the GM for next year. It's still going to be Judge, much like it was with Gettleman, at least he was at least 50-50 with Gettleman in terms of being the decision maker. And if you're bringing a GM to fit around Judge, you're just going to get a guy that's not as embarrassing, I guess, in terms of his press conferences or whatever. But I agree with you. I don't think it's a dramatic change if you keep Judge and you hire somebody from within the staff or you fit somebody from the New England Patriots. It's just to make the fans happy. It's to give them a pound of flesh. I don't think it's much of a change, to be honest with you.
See, here's a problem. See, that's unacceptable for me. Like what you just said right there.
I'm not saying I want that, but that's what I think it is.
What Chris just told y'all, and y'all heard it from Chris. So it's not fists, being. It's not one of these fist theories or fistspiracies, whatever somebody told me one time. Because sometimes they be thinking I be crazy. Because I be talking about Daniel Jones, they think I'm crazy. What Chris basically just told you is the only reason to fire Dave Gettleman is to make us happy.
If you're firing Judge, there's clearly a reason to fire him. But but I don't think they're firing Judge. So yeah, I think they're using Gettleman as the pound of flesh. And I'm going to give you another conspiracy theory that I've said in the past. I think the only reason Gettleman kept his job in the first place when they hired Judge was to give Judge more time so they could use him as the pound of flesh when it came down to it.
Okay. I like that. Let's take one at a time now.
One at a time.
Your first statement justifies everything. Ash Money's been on my channel. Donnie's been on my channel. I had a couple people been on my channel. And I've always said, Hub, especially Hub actually agrees with me. Dave Gettleman's done a great job with this team. If you take away the offensive line, Chris, which he's tried, Nate Solder was the best tackle on the market at the time. Andrew Thomas is a freaking stud. He's tried. If you take away the offensive line, Joe Judge has improved every single position on this team since he's got here. Our safeties are better. Our corners are better. Our linebackers are better. Edge rush, whatever. But depending on how you feel about Leonard Williams, I don't know.
Right. Well, he was here before Judge was here.
Not Leonard. He traded for Leo.
No, Gettleman. Oh, you're talking about Gettleman. You said Judge.
Oh, my bad. Not Judge. Gettleman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
If you look at it realistically, Chris, our favorite Giants players, he drafted McKinney. He drafted Thomas. He drafted Tony. He drafted my
McKinney.
guy
You said McKinney?
Saquon, Daniel Jones. He drafted AZ Ojulari. He drafted Bradbury. Maybe not with the Giants, but he drafted him. Graham Gano brought him over from Carolina. He chose to take Blake Martinez, who's a monster, over the other guy who went to Vegas. He's done a lot of good stuff. Logan Ryan signing, that's good stuff.
Don't say this too loud. Giants fans will kill you.
Yeah. They hate me for this. they hate when I defend Gettleman.
Here's what I'll say. Fisk. I was a guy that always wanted to give Gettleman as fair of a chance as possible because it's easy for fans to say after the first year that they were right, but any rational fan that's being fair, regardless of how bad the first year was, cannot come to a full conclusion on how good and whether or not a GM can get the job done after 1 year, which is why I always wanted to give Gettleman more of a chance. 2019 drafts his quarterback. You got to give that a little bit of time. I think at this point we've given it enough time. But 2020, I'm in complete agreement with you. I thought 2020, Gettleman actually had a great year, if you're being completely honest and unbiased. In terms of Graham Gano was an incredible move. The extension of Nick Gates was a really good move. Obviously, the injury, that's bad luck. Drafting of Andrew Thomas looks good. Drafting of McKinney looks good. The Bradbury signing at the time looked really good. The Martinez signing at the time looked really good. The Logan Ryan signing for 1 year looked really good. So 2020, I really thought that a lot of fans, even the fans that hated Gettleman, were like, even though you noticed this, Fisk, I'm sure they were giving all the credit to Judge instead of Gettleman. And that was the thing. And it wasn't just fans, too. It was people in the media, too. The media bias, because everybody just hates Gettleman, which I understand. But anytime something was perceived to be bad, it was Gettleman's fault. And anytime anything was perceived to be good, it was because Judge made that decision. But 2020, it worked out well. And then 2021, it was a disaster because, yes, free agency, I wasn't really against anything, their overall plan. I thought they needed to be aggressive. The best available wide receiver was Galladay. Hindsight 2020, you could say that was a bad move. But in the moment, it made sense. So I was like, okay, Adoree Jackson made sense. We had a weakness at the cornerback position. But the fact that you lost Kevin Zeitler and the fact that you did not draft a single offensive lineman in this year's draft, that's where he lost me. That's where he lost my support.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of Giants fans and you fellow Giants YouTubers, they say, oh, well, how could you not take an offensive lineman in the draft? So my question to you, Chris, is our first 4 picks, which one of them right now, out of our first 4 picks, which one of them right now would you get rid of to get a lineman?
Tony. I take Slater. I don't. I take Slater. Yeah.
Oh no, we're not doing that, Chris. No, I can't let you say that. There's no way. There's no way, Chris.
I take Slater there. Yeah.
No, there's no way. No. All right, 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons why I'm not letting you slide with that. All right, reason number 1. No way in hell should we be passing on Parsons if we stay at 11. That's reason number 1.
To me, it was either Parsons or Slater.
All right, because we actually had this debate, and we both agreed that edge rusher is more important than edge protector. You and I both agreed on that.
Well, I think left tackle is more important than edge rusher.
You think so?
Right tackle, I agree with you. Left tackle, the blindside protector, I think is the second most important position.
Okay, so the best pass rusher.
We already had Andrew Thomas.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So, okay, you're building a team right now, Chris. You got a choice between TJ Watt, Aaron Donald, whoever you think is the best pass rusher in the league, or Trent Williams, who's like the most dominant left tackle on the planet Earth right now. Who you taking?
Okay, here's what I'll say. If it's an elite, like the best of the best at those 2 positions, I'd probably go with the edge.
Okay.
But I think it's more valuable to have a good to great tackle than a good to great edge rusher on the left side, the blindside protector. But if you're talking about the top of the top of the top at the position,
of the crop.
Yeah, I would go with
that's what Slater and Parsons is looking like. Slater looks like a demon in LA right now. Like it's looking like Slater and Parsons are like as good as it gets as far as like at pick 11 at least. You know what I'm saying?
I see Don Vito says Parsons wouldn't be. Yeah, he would. He went at 12. Cowboys traded down. Cowboys traded to 12 and took him.
He was, but the thing is, and like I tell Giants fans this, and when they criticize Joe Judge about Parsons, I'm like, look, you gotta understand. Parsons was drafted as a middle linebacker. They put him at edge rusher by necessity because
Yeah,
so
and
many people got hurt.
they saw what he did in the first game against Brady. He was getting cooked in coverage, so they said, "We're just gonna make you go after the quarterback going forward."
Yeah, so it's not like Parsons was like Khalil Mack or Bradley Chubb, and it's like, oh my goodness, we just passed on the edge rushers. No, he was projected to be a middle linebacker. That's what he was
A lot
projected
of
to be
people
in the
did say in the
draft.
draft though that they thought he was the best pass rusher in the class.
See, I didn't. I thought it was just like, oh, he's an inside backer who could play all three positions, kind of like the guy in Tampa. What's his name? Not
Devin White.
Levante, but
Devin White.
White. Yes, White can rush the passer, but he's primarily a linebacker, inside backer, because they got JPP and Shaq Barrett on the edges. So I thought he was going to be more like Devin White, where it's like, okay, he's going to be the inside backer, but we can blitz him too. I didn't know he was going to be freaking DeMarcus Ware or something.
Well, I don't think anybody knew that he was going to be used that way, but a lot of scouts thought he was capable of being an edge rusher. But no, I don't think, like you said, I don't think anybody thought he was going to be used like a Von Miller. Like, no, yeah, I thought most people thought Devin White. That like you said, I think that was the projection by most people, and obviously the Cowboys, changed the way that many thought that they were going to use him when they initially drafted him. But I'm going to tell you what, in this draft, that's a position not a lot of people are talking about. I think you could argue that's our biggest need on defense. And I know people say the edge rusher, and edge rusher is certainly important. We need that. I don't think Azeez Ojulari is a number one. I think he's a good number two. But we need a friggin' linebacker. We need a middle linebacker, and we need a versatile middle linebacker. I think that's our biggest need on defense. I think line and a middle linebacker.
Which brings me to why the Tony trade was brilliant. Number one, Tony was as good as advertised when he was healthy. If Kadarius Toney in that Cowboy game, and for the first drive of that freaking Rams game when he was cooking that secondary before he got hurt, oh no, that's a home run. He looked better than Devontae. He looked better than Jalen. Jamar Chase is on another planet, but damn it, other than Jamar Chase, he looked better than all the rookie wide receivers. So we hit with Tony. On top of hitting with Tony, we get the Bears pick, which is going to be a top 5 pick because they're going to beat us.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. And I will say you cannot assess what the Giants did until we see who they take with the Bears pick. And I understand based off value, it's great value, right? You traded from 11 to 20, you got Tony, and you're going to get a top 5 pick. So in the next draft, you actually got a better pick than the pick you traded out of. So I understand in terms of value, we won the trade, right? But let me ask you this. If the Cowboys were going to trade Micah Parsons today, what would they get for him?
Shit. Probably
3 first?
Nah, I'll say 2.
This is a guy that's a top 5 defensive player already in the NFL, right?
I say 2. You know why I say 2? Because what's my man name who got traded? The what wide receiver? They only got like a 1 for him. Not Hopkins, but
regardless, he'd be worth a ton. And you can say the same thing about Slater. So that's what, unless they hit on that Bears pick, and the way I look at it, we lost the trade because both Slater and Parsons are at least worth 2 first, if not more, probably at this point in time.
Ramsey, that was a guy. Ramsey, the best cornerback on planet Earth, only got 1 first-round pick. So the best edge rusher at best can only get 2.
We'll say 2. We'll say both those guys are worth 2 firsts.
But Slater, okay, so let me flip it back at you, Chris. So we got Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Evan Neal.
If we get them,
we will, because 3 of the top 5 picks are going to be quarterbacks.
If they work out,
bro. The Houston's taking a quarterback, Detroit's taking a quarterback, the Jaguars are taking an offensive lineman to protect Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what the hell the Jets are going to do, but I know for a fact I co-host a podcast with a Jaguars fan. They're getting a tackle for.
I agree. I definitely think Jacksonville's probably going line.
So that's 3 of them right there.
Detroit could go edge. So I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit goes edge.
What?
You
think they're going to pay Jared Goff $35 million next year?
There's no quarterbacks in this draft that's worth the first pick.
Yeah, I say that now. But by the time ESPN do a couple specials, by April, we're going to have like 4 of them.
We'll
Look,
see.
Chris,
We'll see.
last year,
I
Chris.
definitely think it's possible one of them gets to us, but I'm not going to bank on it that Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not going to. I would lean probably not. I think both of them probably going to go in the top 4, but one of them could definitely get to us. I wouldn't be shocked if they do.
Hey, Giants fans, I bet y'all my whole YouTube check on this. Okay, by the time ESPN is done with these quarterbacks, there will be 3 in the top 5.
No way.
I promise you.
No,
ESPN do it every year.
Maybe the Giants reach on a quarterback, which let me get
no, I'm not saying we're reaching on a quarterback.
You're saying 3 in the top 5. So let's go over the top 5. You've got the Jaguars, they're not taking a quarterback. You've got the Jets, they're not taking a quarterback. They just drafted one. The Giants, you just said won't take a quarterback. So that leaves the Detroit Lions
and Houston.
Who could.
But there'll be 3 elite quarterbacks that people will want. That's what I'm saying. ESPN will create 3 quarterbacks by the time draft night starts. Who the hell was Zach Wilson, Trey Lance going into the draft? We knew about Fields and we knew about Trevor Lawrence. I never heard of Trey Lance until the draft. I never heard of Zach Wilson until the draft. They do it every year. Never heard of Josh Allen until he got drafted. Never heard of Carson Wentz until he really got drafted. Never heard about Daniel Jones until the round of time.
I don't disagree that there's going to be somebody that moves up. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it'll be Kenny Pickett. I don't know if it'll be Desmond Ridder. Somebody said CJ Stroud, Malik Willis. Who's the other quarterback? Matt Corral.
And for the record,
I agree. There'll be at least be one quarterback that goes in the top 5. I don't think there'll be 3, but I think there'll be at least one.
And for the record, Chris, I'm not saying they're good. I'm saying the media propaganda. They do it every year with these quarterbacks. Like the media creates these quarterbacks out of nowhere. It's like Trey Lance, really? They picked him over Mac Jones? Like they do this every year with these quarterbacks, man.
You saw it with Blake Bortles, a guy you make fun of a lot. Like he had an incredible combine, and every draft, a team that desperately needs a quarterback convinces themselves that this quarterback could be the next Pat Mahomes. This quarterback could be the next Aaron Rodgers. Like and 95% of the time they're wrong. So that's why quarterbacks fail as often as they do, because guys that go early usually go to horrible circumstances.
Baker Mayfield was supposed to be a 2nd or 3rd round pick because of the running from the police and all the other stuff. He did one combine workout where he did a whistle and Hugh Jackson called on the Pied Piper and boom, he's a number 1 pick.
Baker Mayfield got drafted number 1 overall because he's a cheerleader.
Basically.
Let's be honest. He got drafted number 1 overall because of his personality. People say, "Oh, he's a great leader." And now he's got more commercials than any player in the NFL. And in my opinion, he shouldn't even be a starting quarterback.
Agreed.
Like, what does Baker Mayfield do I am not as high on Daniel Jones as you, but I even think Jones could do better than Baker Mayfield with the Cleveland
we're about to talk about that. Soon as all right, so shout out to Talking Echo. Good transition, Chris. Do y'all think the new GM will force a quarterback pick?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I'm not saying I know for a fact. I think it's possible.
So check this out. First of all, y'all hit the like button. 130 people in here. I got 60 likes. Y'all know better. Hit that like button. Y'all in here freeloading. I appreciate that. Hit that like button. All right. And if I don't have 100 likes by 7:45, I'm gonna start threatening y'all. All right. So so don't make me have to threaten y'all. Hit that like button. All right. If I don't get 100 likes by 7:45, I'm spoiling Spider-Man for y'all. So y'all better freaking do it. All right. Don't play with me because I'll do it.
Spider-Man was awesome, so you don't want him doing that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ruined the whole movie, so y'all better get them likes up. But so Chris, here's the deal, bro. Daniel Jones, and I'm talking to you, Talking Echo, because I don't appreciate the disrespect. Daniel Jones, last time seen on an NFL football field, beat the Eagles with a broken neck. Okay? With a broken freaking neck, this guy beats the Eagles. Over the last 2 weeks, I've heard more criticisms of Daniel Jones than I had the first 3 years, the first 2.5 years he started. For some strange reason, Giants fans have decided that the horrible play of Mike Glennon is Daniel Jones' fault. You would think after watching Mike Glennon, when you coming back, DJ? Are you feeling better, DJ? No. Man, we got to trade DJ. We got to draft another quarterback. Giants fans, newsflash. We got Chris, the Hog Molly King, to the right of me right now. He will tell you no quarterback is prospering on this Giants team with the first 2 years of what Daniel Jones has had to deal with.
I won't say no, but I would say 95 to 97%.
No quarterback under 30, okay? Because maybe Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say, I think Rodgers could.
Mahomes,
not many. I'll tell you that right now. There are not many quarterbacks that could come into this situation and win. And I think a lot of Giants fans just think it could happen. You know, they look at Kyler Murray with Arizona. They think he could just snap his fingers and it could work.
He died behind this line. He barely healthy behind the line he got now.
And Kyler Murray is also in a perfect scheme for his skill set. The air raid offense, that's why they drafted Kyler Murray, because Cliff Kingsbury felt like he fit it to a T, and he does. Daniel Jones does not fit the scheme that he was put in with Jason Garrett. So
not even a little bit.
Even though I do not think Daniel Jones is going to be a franchise quarterback, at least for the Giants, I'm definitely on board with sticking with him for another year, because I am not about putting another quarterback, a rookie quarterback, in this situation, because they're gonna fail just like Jones.
Thank you, Chris. They're gonna fail. Thank you, because I'm like, y'all got to understand. I'm like, okay, I'm Daniel Jones' biggest supporter. All right, I'm gonna be objective with you. His lack of swagger bothers me. It bothers me. That's my only complaint with Daniel Jones. He's too coachable. He's too good of a coach.
Here's my biggest critique of Jones. And I do think I do see some of the physical attributes that people see. Like, I do see it, which is why I try to give this guy as much of a chance as I can. But when I look around the league, and somebody said Russell Wilson, he's one of the best, probably the best I've seen in the league at doing it. When a play breaks down, and again, Daniel Jones is in a horrible situation, like you said. But when a play breaks down, you watch Russell Wilson, his eyes are always down the field. He's always looking for wide receivers that break off their routes, and he's trying to hit big plays. You watch Daniel Jones when a play breaks down, he's just looking for the first. He wants to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. Like, I just feel like he doesn't process mentally as well as a lot of other quarterbacks when they look for that big play when things start to break down. So that would be my biggest critique of Daniel Jones.
I'm actually gonna I'm gonna explain that to you, but my biggest, I'm gonna explain what you just said, because I know exactly what you're talking about. But my biggest critique of Jones is, if you could put Baker Mayfield's swagger, if you could put Jalen Hurts that swagger. My biggest problem with Jones is he looks like Eli Manning on the sideline. Eli Manning got away with it because he won 2 Super Bowls.
I was gonna say, I don't care. He could look like Eli Manning if he wins.
But it's like, what I'm talking about, Chris, is like, your quarterback is supposed to be able to uplift the team. He's supposed to be the most confident.
Yeah.
His presence, like, it's just his aura is what I'm trying to say. Like, we watched him every week, Chris. Baker Mayfield is garbage, but you couldn't tell the way he carries himself. He still goes to the line, and it's like, we know you trash, but you so confident you might got a play in you. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only reason the guy got drafted as high as he did, just because of his false confidence.
Facts. It's like Jalen Hurts was so garbage versus the Giants. We're in the same fantasy league, Chris.
Yeah.
I started Jalen Hurts the majority of the season, so I watched him. I'm like, he's getting me 25 fantasy points, and I don't know how, but he just looks so confident. It's like the swagger. And I'm like, Daniel Jones, I'd be like, bro, stop dropping your head, man. I know it's bad out there, but don't. He just gets so down, and I'm like, I can't have that from my leader. I need my leader to always be confident and always have that confidence. That's all I want from Daniel Jones as the leader of the football team. Say what you want about Joe Judge lying ass. He will always find a way to put a positive spin on this piece of shit team. And that's what you need from your leader, man. And it's like, that's all I want from Daniel Jones. Like, you just show that confidence. Pick your posture up, pick your head up, and just say, you know what, guys, we can do this. Like, just give us confidence watching at home. Like, you can see it through the screen.
Yeah.
The answer, the combat what you talked about, Chris, that's coaching. The reason Daniel Jones looks so bad when the play breaks down is because the Giants don't practice scrambling drills. If you look at the Steelers, the Seahawks, the Chiefs, they practice that. So it's like, when the play breaks down, they all know where to go. That's why they always keep their eyes up, because it's Aaron Rodgers. When the play breaks down, they all practice that. They know where to go. How many of y'all in the chat right now thinks Joe Judge is really practicing when the play breaks there? Hey, Danny, go wait for them to break off the route and throw it down the field. Or, hey, Danny, please don't turn the ball over because field position is God to me. Throw it out of bounds.
One thing I'm going to say that I do think affected Jones, not just the scheme change, but I think Joe Judge affected Jones in the sense that I think Judge is definitely a conservative coach, at least with Jones. Maybe he would change if he had a different type of quarterback, but I definitely think he's a conservative coach. And I really do believe that Judge has drilled it in Daniel Jones's head. You cannot turn the football over. Don't make mistakes. Because when Jones had Pat Shurmur's first year, he was free balling to a point where I was shocked. Like the scouting report on Daniel Jones coming in, everybody was like Alex Smith. He could be a game manager with some upside. And he was the complete opposite of that. Like, he was making a lot of throws where I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? He was taking at times I'd be pissed because he was taking unnecessary shots. Part of me does think that Joe Judge ingrained it into his skull. Be conservative. We can't afford you to turn over the football. We need to rely on our defense. So I do think that there's something to that with the coaching change.
He sucks as a game manager. Daniel Jones isn't a game manager. That's the problem.
No, he's not.
And that's why Jason Garrett, that's why I didn't work with him, because at Dak's essence, at Dak's core, he is Alex Smith. He's a game manager. Dak for years, Daniel Jones had more 300-yard games his first season than Dak had combined his first 3. That's actually a true stat. I troll Cowboy fans at that all the time. Let that sink in. So it's like, the reason why Jason Garrett offense didn't work for Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is not a check down Charlie. Daniel Jones worked with Pat Shurmur because they sent them boys down the field all the time. That's why Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton had so many big plays this rookie year. Golden Tate was slow as us, but Daniel Jones was hitting them 25 yards down the field, like that touchdown versus the Patriots. Daniel Jones, his rookie year, threw the first touchdown against that Patriots defense on Thursday Night Football. And that was a bomb to Golden Tate. So it's like, how do you go from that to whatever the hell we've watched the last 2 years?
I think part of it's definitely coaching, for sure. I definitely think that's part of it. And I also don't think he fits the scheme, and the parts around him are horrible. And he's got to take blame too. Don't get it twisted. Daniel Jones isn't perfect, but I definitely think we've set him up to fail. I think we set Saquon up to fail. I think we set Jones up to fail. That's what the Giants have done. They set all their players up to fail. Kevin Zeitler leaves. He's one of the best guards in football. Eric Flowers leaves. He's one of the best guards in football. So I just think that's what the Giants do, man. They're a horribly ran organization.
Shout out to Michael Irvin's Coke Man. Michael Irvin's Coke Man says, in my opinion, G-Men should take a quarterback because DJ is injured every year. Probably going to happen again. If the fans/media take that as a sign of moving on, that's on them. You know what? That's the only reason why I said if they moved on from Jones, I'd okay it. That's it. Because this kid, I don't critique Daniel Jones on the field, Chris, because I'm sitting back like, bro, he has no offensive line. And his wide receivers are always freaking hurt, bro. I look at Daniel Jones and I'm like, Jesus, if this kid was in Sean Payton's hands, if he was in Shanahan's hands or Andy Reid's hands, Daniel Jones would be an MVP talks because he's the perfect prospect. If you look at Daniel Jones, if Daniel Jones came out of Ohio State or Oklahoma, just look at Daniel Jones as a prospect, Chris. This kid runs as fast as any quarterback in the league. He throws as good of a deep ball as any quarterback in the league. He's 6'4", 6'5", 230. I mean, damn, he's the perfect prospect, and he's coachable. He just has been failed by an offensive line, a lack of weapons, and most importantly, let's keep it 100, Chris. How much different do we look at Daniel Jones if Evan Engram catches the ball? How much different do we look at Daniel Jones?
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with what you said. I will agree that Daniel Jones definitely looks better in the New Orleans Saints with Sean Payton. Undeniable. That one of the best offensive minds. You're playing in a dome. You got a great offensive line. He would look much better with the New Orleans Saints. But I'm going to disagree with you that he'd be in MVP discussions. I think he could definitely win football games on a good team. I think he could put up good numbers on a good team, on, a team. Like, here's what I'll say. Do I think Daniel Jones could do what Jimmy Garoppolo did with those San Francisco 49ers teams? Yeah. I think Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive mind. They have an incredible ground game. They have a really good defense. Yes, I absolutely think he can win games in a situation like that and look pretty good doing so. I don't think I hope I'm wrong. I don't think he's ever going to be a quarterback, regardless of his situation, that will ever be in MVP conversations.
Okay, so all right, so here's my thing, Chris. We're down 10 points with 7 minutes to go in New Orleans. He comes back and wins that game. Over 400 yards.
It was a great game.
Game-winning drive in overtime, right? He was offensive player of the week versus Washington. Wasn't his fault Darius Slayton dropped that ball. Wasn't his fault.
He played well in that game.
You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones, when we needed to win that stinking division last year, Giants fans forget this. And as a Daniel Jones supporter, it pisses me off. Because we can't root for the Eagles if DJ don't close the deal at 1 o'clock. I watched Daniel Jones at 1 o'clock beat the Cowboys. I watched Kyler Murray at 4 o'clock lose to the Rams. Kyler Murray, the first pick in that draft, lost to the Rams with a playoff. The Bears backed into the playoffs because Kyler Murray couldn't beat a backup quarterback at 4 o'clock. Daniel Jones beat the Cowboys at 1 o'clock. Daniel Jones, 5 touchdown overtime win his rookie year. Daniel Jones, 18-point comeback, first ever start. Daniel Jones has done a lot of great shit, but for some strange reason, things just don't go his way. Like that Eagle game, Chris. Imagine this. Daniel Jones doesn't slip. All right. He runs 85 yards for a touchdown. One of the greatest Giants plays ever. What if Evan Ingram catches that ball? That's an historic Giants game because he did it in Philly. That's historic right there. It wasn't his fault we lost.
He's had bad luck. He's had bad luck. There's no doubt about it. The team stinks. And it's not the bottom line is, Fish, you know as well as I do, the quarterback's usually going to get more credit than he deserves when the team does well, and he's going to get more blame than he deserves when the team does bad. So for the fans that think it's only Daniel Jones or even mainly Daniel Jones, those fans I definitely disagree with. I think there's a lot more factors than just the quarterback with this team, why they are the way that they are. And all you got to do is go back and look at Eli Manning. Like, the team won the Super Bowl in 2011. By 2013, he looked like a completely different quarterback.
And speaking of Eli Manning, he's better in year 3 than Eli Manning was in year 3. Eli Manning in year 3, what do you got, like 20-something picks? He's a turnover machine in year 3, Chris. Remember, we was gonna fire Coughlin and move on from Eli before we went on the Super Bowl.
I can't get into Eli Jones though. I can't do it with you, Fisk. Eli's
Chris,
better.
You know it's true. Year
Eli's
3
better quarterback. And what I'll say is Eli definitely inherited a much better situation than Daniel Jones. It's undeniable. And I will even agree to an extent that Eli Manning probably fails if he's brought up in the same situation that Daniel Jones was from the beginning. I will even say that. Eli Manning inherited a great offensive line. He came in his second year. They had the 3rd-ranked offense in all of football, and it didn't have too much to do with Eli Manning. It had to do with that offensive line in the ground game with Tiki Barber. But the difference between Eli Manning and Daniel Jones for me when I watch him, 2-minute drill. Not just in the playoffs, when the game's on the line. Eli Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen in that situation. When he didn't have to think. He just went out there, he reacted. I do not see that nearly as consistently with Daniel Jones.
They dropped the ball. Slayton dropped the ball. Ingram dropped the ball. Chris,
I'm not saying that the play. I cannot put Daniel Jones on Eli Manning's level.
2 overtime victories. 2. He had the overtime victory versus the Saints in New Orleans. The overtime victory in Washington his rookie year. Oh, and by the way, Chris, don't forget, if Adoree Jackson just catches the pick, Daniel Jones trucking Grady Jarrett for the 2-point conversion is one of the best plays of the season.
Listen, man, I love his heart. And he's definitely a tough kid. I'll say that right now. The injury, though, really after he got the injury is where, and I think that's why when you ask like why fans are ready to move on from Daniel Jones, or at least willing to accept he's probably not going to be the long-term answer, I think it has to do with his injuries as much as anything else. Like, I think most fair fans realize that he's in a horrible situation, but the guy's missed 10 games now if he misses the rest of this year in the first 3 years in the league. And the team's not winning. So how do you justify giving that guy a second contract? So I think the injuries have as much to do with it as anything else.
Who just said that? Who said that? Shout out to David. David, you're right. And the Odell Beckham catch, Chris. How many quarterbacks can catch that ball like Odell Beckham? Shout out to David. Yeah, the Odell Beckham catch. Can't forget about that.
What are you talking about for Eli?
No, for Danny. Remember the Odell Beckham one-hander Danny did versus the Panthers?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Odell's actual catch.
No, it's about the
listen. Eli Manning, and I'm sorry, Daniel Jones this year is the best catch, the best run, and the best throw by a New York Giant quarterback.
Yes, he's our whole team, Chris. He's hands down our whole. He's our best player, and that's what bothers me.
Yep.
Giants fans criticize Jones the most on the team. He's
the quarterback. He's the quarterback. Because he's the quarterback.
I mean, shit. There's a lot of running backs in the league. Jonathan Taylor is hands down the best player in Indy. Derrick Henry is the best player in Tennessee. There's teams out there who get carried by running backs. Saquon ain't in that class.
Saquon's not the same player.
That's the offensive line too. I would love to see him behind a real offensive line. I really would.
I think it's a lot of mental with him right now too, coming off the injury. He just doesn't look as assertive as he did before the injury. So, but the offensive line is clearly not helping him. But I think Saquon's going to go to a team if he can stay healthy and be a really good player. I just don't think it's going to be here.
I don't think, and I think the same thing with Daniel Jones.
I agree with you. If he gets put in the right spot, I don't know if he will, but if he gets put in the right spot, I think Jones will be successful.
Chris, if we get a new GM, oh my gosh, my biggest fear is Daniel Jones and that black and gold tearing. He's
Daniel. You think the Steelers is where he'll end up? You think the Steelers?
No. I said black and gold. I'm talking the Saints.
Saints.
That's my biggest fear because Sean Payton, when he sees Daniel Jones, is like me seeing Halle Berry, bro. Could you imagine him on the Saints? He wouldn't have to put in Taysom Hill packages anymore. He has it with Danny. Anything Sean Payton wants to do, he does it with Danny. There's no limitations on him.
Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 with Sean Payton. Teddy Bridgewater looked like, I think he had like 10 touchdowns in 5 games, and he went 5-0 with Sean Payton. So there's no denying he'd look good with Sean Payton.
Daniel Jones on the Saints, Chris, that's 5,000 passing yards and like 700 rushing yards. And I'm gonna cry.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna cry, Chris.
I ain't gonna say that, but I ain't gonna say that, but
it's true, Chris. The coordinator
I'll put it this way: he'll definitely win games with the Saints. I'll definitely say that.
That will be Drew Brees leaving the Chargers all over again. If we let Daniel Jones walk out that door to a real organization like the New Orleans Saints or the Green Bay Packers, or he winds up in what's that other team? Denver. Oh my gosh. If he goes back to Pat Shurmur and we fire Shurmur a year too early and Daniel Jones goes to Denver and tears the fucking league up under Pat Shurmur, I'm gonna lose sleep. So it's just at the end of the day, y'all gotta understand, y'all can hate Daniel Jones all y'all want to. I'm not really talking about Chris because Chris gave him a chance, but y'all can hate Daniel Jones all you want to because he didn't come from Alabama or whatever. Oh my gosh, who's this random from Duke? And like a lot of Giants fans, they want to be right so much. They want to justify their draft night anger so much that they root against this kid. I've never seen a player who's done nothing wrong to anybody get hated on so much. Danny has done nothing but put his life on the line, literally.
We did the same thing to Eli early on. I remember.
Facts.
Our fan base did the same thing to Eli before. Our fan base did the same thing to Eli before he won a Super Bowl, and they did the same thing to Eli before he won a second Super Bowl.
In fairness, I didn't rip Eli till 2016.
I'm not saying you, but Eli got ripped the whole way. Eli got ripped the whole way. And then the fans shut up for about 3 years after he won that second Super Bowl. But it's what comes with the territory, man. And fans don't want to look at all the other variables. They want to look at one spot and be like, that's the most important position. That's the reason we're losing.
Let me ask you a question.
In reality, it's not the main reason why we're losing, and it hasn't been the main reason why we've been losing for the last 10 years.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. Is Justin Herbert behind the Giants line?
Justin Herbert's better than Daniel Jones.
I'm just saying in general. Like, let's not talk talent right now. I'm talking just in general, like the situation.
We have more wins with Justin Herbert. We're probably not a playoff team with Justin Herbert. We're definitely winning more games with Justin Herbert.
So you think Justin Herbert comes to this team
Well,
and make
Herbert had horrible offensive line last year with the Chargers. He still threw 31 touchdowns.
but Danny would have had that record his rookie year if he had started from day one. I'm talking about what happens. Like, okay, so Daniel Jones. See, that's the difference, right? Herbert broke the rookie touchdown record his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
He only threw what, 6 more passes, 6 more TDs than DJ? Because I think it was what he threw 30 or 31.
I think it was 7. 31
7, right?
Yeah.
And Danny missed 4 games. Danny didn't play 4 for he only started 12 games, right? So what I'm trying to say is Daniel Jones' rookie year was basically on par with Herbert if you just statted out the 16, right?
I'd have to look. I don't know how many fumbles Herbert had. I don't know how many interceptions. I don't know.
So I'm just in general, just
if you're just looking at touchdowns, maybe.
I mean, he only threw 12 picks. I mean, okay, but here's the point I'm trying to make. His second year in the league, he gets Rashawn Slater, and I think they got another.
I mean, in fairness, Jones got Thomas.
No, but he got a center too. They went and paid Ryan the Green. They got the best center in the league, so they went and got the Green Bay center, and they went and got Rashawn Slater. Okay, so they build up the offensive line, right? He already had something Daniel Jones didn't have, which is Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and 2 reliable tight ends. Both his tight ends is better than ours. Okay, Daniel Jones, his second year, gets Andrew Thomas and nothing else. So Herbert, they improve Herbert. Daniel Jones,
no, I agree. They set him up better. They definitely set him up better.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is I'm just gonna, to put a bow on this, Chris, because I want to actually want to talk to you about, some of the issues we're having on defense, with Bradbury, things of that nature. But what I want to ask you, Chris, is this. If the Giants just keep Pat Shurmur for one more year, in my heart of hearts, we're a better team right now.
I didn't want to fire Shurmur. I got ridiculed for it. I didn't want to fire Shurmur. So, we could play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game, and we'll never know. But I think you're probably right. I think, we'll never know. But if we would have fired, let's say we got Patrick Graham, who we probably would not have gotten, had Joe Judge not been the coach, because obviously him and Judge had a prior relationship. But let's say we got a guy comparable to Patrick Graham that came in here. We made the same exact defensive additions that we did in the 2020 offseason. It is undeniable Jones would have been more successful in his second year because he wouldn't have had to learn a brand new scheme, and he was drafted for Shurmur's scheme to begin with. So, yeah, I do think we would have been better in 2020 than we were with Joe Judge. If you brought in the same exact team and you added Bradbury, you added Martinez, and you brought in a good defensive coordinator. Yeah, I agree with you. I think we would have been a better team.
That's all I'm saying. So all y'all who criticize Daniel Jones, y'all probably gonna get y'all wish, man. If we get a new GM, which is not set in stone, but if we get a new GM, y'all will probably get y'all wish, and they may move on from Jones, especially with the structural neck damage, all that bullshit. But at the end of the day, the biggest mistake this organization has ever made is firing Pat Shurmur. We should have fired Betcher, kept Shurmur, and let him develop Daniel Jones. Because if you let Shurmur develop Daniel Jones, he's probably throwing 30-plus touchdowns a year by now. He was 24-12 his rookie year. He's in the same system multiple years. Obviously, we draft better weapons because Shurmur's an offensive-minded guy, so he's going to think, he'll draft.
Well, I think we still would have taken a tackle. We needed a tackle.
Oh, no, yeah, we definitely take a tackle. I'm just talking about, like, picking up wide receivers in general.
Yeah.
Because he's an offensive guy. He has more, like, he knows what his scheme needs, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think it would have been. I think the offense definitely would have been better than it was last year. If that, I don't even think that's a debate. I think it definitely would have been better had Shurmur stayed. The other main reason I wanted to keep Shurmur, the main reason was Jones, but the other thing I looked at was if you keep Shurmur and you keep Gettleman for another year, it gives you the ability the next year to completely blow it up. Because you fired Shurmur and kept Gettleman, like I think you needed to do both. You either needed to fire both or keep both. Because you fired Shurmur and kept Gettleman, it gave Gettleman another year. And now the whole timeline with the coach and GM is completely screwed up because now you're 2 years in now. Like you said, you're 2 years in now with Judge. And if you're going to keep Judge, why not just keep Gettleman? But if you do that, the fan base is going to revolt. So now if you keep Judge, which Mara seemingly wants to do, and you fire Gettleman, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to be forcing a GM around ahead. It's just a mess. So for me, if you were going to keep Gettleman after 2019, I would have kept Shermer and you give him another year. And if it was and you could have moved on. If they would have had a year like they did in 2020 where they win 6 games, you would have been like, all right, rip it up. Let's just start over right then and there. But because you do this half and half bullshit, you can't do it. You can't do it. And if they keep Judge, and here's what I'm going to say. Everybody says, oh, they're going to rebuild. If you keep Judge, how are you going to rebuild? Let me explain this.
You can't.
If you keep Judge for the last 2 years now has been selling the fan base and selling the media, we're building something. We're building something. We're building something. All right, if you stay, this is now year 3 where you're building something. How are you going to knock everything down you've supposedly been building?
Ding, 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 ding.
So if you keep Judge, there ain't going to be no rebuild, and you're going to have a coach that is going to feel incentivized to not think long-term. You're going to have a coach that's just going to think, I need to save my job. I need to improve this team as much as I possibly can this next year to make sure that I'm going to stay on as the head coach in my 4th year. Because once Gettleman goes, he doesn't have that safety valve anymore. Gettleman, to me, was always the safety valve for Joe Judge. He was going to be the first guy that took the punch. Once he's gone, it's on Judge. And if this team wins 5-6 games next year, which it looks like they could, if they don't make a dramatic change and, say, trade for a guy like Russell Wilson or be ultra aggressive in the offseason, Judge is going to be gone, and Judge knows that. So if you keep Judge, I don't think you can rebuild. And I think you're potentially setting yourself up to have it spiral out of control again.
I honestly feel like Judge, he killed DJ. He killed him. And I really feel like, in my humble opinion, not what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to keep him. And at this point, I'm not even against it because this firing coaches at the 2-year thing, I'm tired of that. Let's see what Judge does with the 3rd year. But my humble opinion, Chris, he ruined our franchise quarterback, and his head needs to roll for that. We need to get a coach that could develop a quarterback like Shermer did. We need a coach with Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow, Kingsbury and Murray. We need a coach, Andy Reid and Mahomes. We need a coach that can develop a quarterback. If y'all want Daniel Jones' head to roll, you know what I'm saying, you delusional people out there that think we're going to take some random kid in the top 5 in a few months and he's going to do better than Jones, good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? All you delusional people out there who want to get rid of Jones, just make sure you know what you went for.
Here's what. This is just my prediction. There's no way of knowing this. If the Giants take Kenny Pickett, which seems to be the guy that, you know, the fans that do want to draft the quarterback, that seems to be the favorite at this point, or maybe it's Malik Willis or whoever. Say it's Kenny Pickett. If they take Kenny Pickett, my prediction will be in 2023, the next draft, when Kenny Pickett stinks in his rookie year, fans are going to be like, why didn't we wait a year to take a quarterback?
Ding, 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 ding.
Because there is no way
ding, 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 ding.
Kenny Pickett is coming into this situation and looking good.
Nope.
There is no way. Do you think he's as talented as Trevor Lawrence?
Nope.
How's Trevor
Lawrence? I think
doing?
Danny is.
How's Trevor Lawrence doing with Jacksonville this year?
I rest my. Oh my goodness.
Do you think Kenny Pickett's as talented as Zach Wilson? Do you think Kenny Pickett's as talented as Trey Lance? Do you think Kenny Pickett's as talented as Justin Fields? My answer is no.
Oh man, you struck gold with that. Giants fans hated me when I said that. When I brought up Trevor Lawrence, when I was defending Daniel Jones on a bye week, when I was giving out Daniel Jones' grade or whatnot, when I brought up Baker and I brought up Trevor and I brought up Justin Fields, I was like, really, Giants fans? That's who y'all wanted over DJ? Stop.
And Justin Fields, by the way, Justin Fields, in my opinion, is probably better than any quarterback in this draft.
He ain't better than Mac Jones. My man Mac Jones.
No, I'm saying in this upcoming draft.
Oh, this upcoming draft, yeah. So, like, I'm looking at Giants fans. I'm like, okay, look at what Daniel Jones, like, if you look at, this is my thing with Daniel Jones, right? He never looks pathetic. Like, the Giants offense.
He does at times, but it's not. Okay, it's not
the Rams game was bad. And the Buccaneer game was just Garrett had to go. That
The Rams
dumbass
game,
screen
the Rams
pass.
game Jones was horrible.
Yeah, but for the most part, Daniel Jones doesn't look pathetic. There's weeks where Jacksonville just looks. Trevor Lawrence just looks bad. Justin Fields got sacked more times than he completed a ball a month ago. And I'm just like, okay, that's who you Giants fans would prefer to have over Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones may not be the greatest, but what Giants fans need to understand is there is a big gap between having Daniel Jones be good enough to win games and having a bum out there who we have no hope with. And I was hoping that Giants fans, okay, is Daniel Jones Patrick Mahomes? No. But you know what Daniel Jones is? He's a top half quarterback. Because once you get past that top half, Chris, then you're looking at guys you can't win with. That's all I'm saying. You can win with Jones. I thought putting Mike Glennon in here would show Giants fans what bad quarterback play really looks like. Jones is competent. He's not great. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to piss on y'all and tell you it's wet. He's not great. He's good. And we won 2 Super Bowls with good.
Okay, let's be fair. He was good, but he was great when it mattered.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
Eli wasn't good
quarterback for a reason.
What?
He's a 500 quarterback for a reason, Chris.
Yeah, because the Giants are trash.
But Eli Manning, but here's the thing, though. All right, Giants fans. Okay, and we're moving off Jones after this because I'm getting frustrated. At the end of the day, Chris, cover your ears. Giants fans, enough with the Daniel Jones slander. Y'all don't have the right. Y'all not qualified to curse Daniel Jones. You understand me?
I still hear you.
This Giants franchise has never had one motherfucking MVP quarterback. Name one Hall of Fame great quarterback that we've had. Don't give me that Eli Manning shit. He's going there off 2 Super Bowls.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Get off 2 Super Bowls. I'm talking about greatness. We have never had Rodgers. We've never had Manning or Brady or some shit like that. Giants fans are not qualified to talk about great quarterback play. Eli Manning was a good quarterback with 2 great moments. He was never Manning. He was never Breeze. He was never that. He was a 500 quarterback, and if Daniel Jones don't hurt his ankle versus the Packers, he don't even finish as that. So you Giants fans out here standards.
I'm going to disagree with you about Eli Manning, and I'm not saying he's near the level of those guys that you mentioned because he's not. Those guys you mentioned are immortal quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, yada 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 yada. Eli Manning to me is not. Yeah, his record says he's a 500 quarterback, but Eli Manning is a quarterback that showed when he had the necessary team, he was a well above. Eli Manning from 2005 to 2012 didn't have a losing season. Eli Manning from 2005 to 2012 was undeniably a better quarterback than Ben Roethlisberger. It's just that Ben Roethlisberger had support throughout the rest of his career. Eli Manning fell victim to the same thing that Daniel Jones is falling victim to now. And the New York Giants absolutely failed him, which is why I'm giving Daniel Jones a long leash. Because I do recognize he inherited an atrocious situation. But even when the team was losing games, Eli Manning was still second in touchdown passes in 2015. Eli Manning was not trash. Eli Manning was always a well above average quarterback, and he was at least a very good quarterback, and he was great in the big moments. That's my take on Eli Manning. He's not immortal. He's not Peyton. He's not Mahomes. I agree with you on that, but he's still a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he was a damn good one.
But Chris, everything you said about Eli Manning is all I feel about Daniel Jones. I think he's good, and I think under the right situation, that kid could be great. Because we've seen flashes.
I hope you're right. If he ends up being the guy here long term, I hope you're right.
And that's what I'm saying, Chris. I get annoyed when Giants fans criticize Jones and they call me delusional and they criticize me. But 4 years ago, Chris, we met because you hated the way I criticized Eli. But 4 years ago, when I was burying Eli, y'all called me a fake fan. So which is it? Am I delusional for supporting Jones, or am I a fake fan for telling y'all the truth about 500 Manning out there? What are we doing? Because at the end of the day, Eli Manning was a good quarterback, borderline very good. He was never great. He had good moments. He was clutch. Give him that. Can't take that from him. But Chris, when he retired as the highest paid player in NFL history, to this day, Chris, Eli Manning is still the highest paid
No, he's not.
football
I
player.
actually looked that stat up the other day. I was curious.
Who
He's not.
passed him?
I'll tell you right now. He's
Yeah,
actually
who passed him?
I think he's out of the top 10 actually. And I was surprised. I'm gonna look it up right now. But yeah, I actually looked that up the other day because I remember people used this. Brady is the highest. But obviously Brady's been playing forever.
Forever. Yeah, forever.
I'll give you the list right now. It's Brady is, hold on, still going, still there. Actually, no. Here we go. Okay. Brady's number one at 291.1 million. Number two is Ben, 267. Matt Ryan's 3. Aaron Rodgers 4. Matt Stafford 5. Russell Wilson 6. Joe Flacco 7. Kirk Cousins 8. Ryan Tannehill 9. And Newton's actually 10, according to this.
Yeah, and they've all gotten contracts since
because of the multiverse.
Hired. Yeah, they've all gotten new contracts. So all I'm just trying to say is, when it's all said and done, Chris, when it comes to Daniel Jones, Giants fans, shut the hell up, because he's good enough to win with. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's all we need right now. Let's build the offensive line. Let's get that edge rusher. Let's put a good team around this kid and win some damn football games. Let's stop trying to get a quarterback and ignore this offensive line. Ignore this edge rusher. Unless Andrew Luck is walking through that door,
Fisk, you won me over the second this stream started, and you told me you want to take 2 offensive linemen.
That's all I'm saying, Chris.
I'm on board with that. Here's what I'm going to say. My initial offseason plan was going to be to look to trade Jones if there was a good deal in place and bring in a stopgap quarterback, not draft a quarterback. Get that draft compensation, knowing that I'm probably not going to give this guy a second contract. However, the fact that Jones has now gotten hurt, I don't think there's going to be enough value there to trade him. And I'm not trading him for peanuts. I'm going to keep Jones. I'm going to draft heavy on the offensive line. And I'm going to get a strong backup quarterback. I'm not bringing in a Mike Glennon. I'm bringing in a guy here that could come in and win football games if Daniel Jones probably inevitably gets hurt, which was what we've seen his first 3 years. Or a guy that if Jones is struggling could come in and win football games. Who that guy is, I don't know. But I'm bringing in a good backup. That will be my plan going into next year. And I'm thinking long term. And, of course, if Jones goes out there, like you've said, and we improve that line, which hopefully we do, and he looks really good, well, then you start thinking more long term. But if he doesn't, that's when I go out and get my quarterback.
And the thing is, if Daniel Jones is trash, we'll be in position to take a quarterback next season.
Yeah.
If he stinks up the joint, then guess what, Giants fans? We'll be in position to get a quarterback. So it's a win-win. Bringing back Jones next year is a win-win, because either he's going to be the guy. See, there's no in-between with Jones, right? So he's either going to be the guy or we're drafting a quarterback, because he's either going to win games and deliver the goods, or it's going to be another 4 or 5 win season. And guess what? We're going to be in position to take a quarterback. There's no in between.
The other thing I would really like to do in this draft, if possible, and I don't know if it will be, is to trade down and get another first-round pick in the 2023 draft. So it gives me the ability to trade up and get a quarterback.
Nah, we can't do that. You know why we can't do that? Because one of those edge rusher guys will be there when we get there.
Well, if there's a guy there that you can't pass up on, you take it. But in an ideal circumstance, if there's a team willing to come up from, say, 9 to 6, and you could get their first-round pick in the next draft to get a quarterback or something, it's something that I would like to do.
Chris, hold on real quick. Shout out to Nikki Saff. Sup, my guys. Bryce Young is our savior, hopefully. Okay, hopefully we don't suck next year so we can't get him. But, hopefully.
Well, I see Diggy. I'm curious to get. I don't know his take, and I'm with him in the sense that I don't think Jones is going to be the long-term answer. But he says, why do y'all want to watch this dude stink up the place next year? My whole take on bringing back Jones and bringing in a guy that can compete with him is because I don't want another Daniel Jones. I don't want to just take a quarterback and put him in a situation where he's going to fail. If there's a guy that jumps off the page, have at it. But I'm not just taking Kenny Pickett because I think he's a moderate improvement over Daniel Jones. Unless the guy has elite potential and I could view that guy as a franchise quarterback, I'd sooner stick with Jones for another year or bring in a stopgap quarterback, whatever you want to choose, rather than draft a quarterback. Because I think you're setting that guy up for failure, and I think it's going to be another 3. If you do that, like I said to Fisk earlier, then you're going to have fans saying, why didn't we wait another year to take a quarterback? The same thing that we did with Justin Herbert. Now you hear fans all the time, why did we take Jones in 2019 when we could have waited a year and taken Justin Herbert? If you force a quarterback pick and you put in a guy in a situation to fail, you might be duplicating that same mistake you made the first time. So that's my take. I don't want to just take a quarterback to take a quarterback. I think it's a massive mistake.
Hey, Diggy, did you really just come in a Fisk unit chat and say you want Teddy Bridgewater, the guy who got all the talent in the world around him right now and could barely win games? You want that guy to come on a horrible New York Giants team?
If that, listen,
really,
if they want to do that, if the Giants like to do that, I'm not going to complain about it. But Bridgewater ain't winning games here. Bridgewater's going to be a stopgap guy, a guy that's going to hold the fort until you draft your next quarterback. That's what he's going to be. So, if you could trade Jones and get a second-round pick and bring in Bridgewater, sure. I don't think you're going to be able to trade Jones and get a second-round pick with all the injuries he's had. So that's why I said my offseason plan probably would have been in agreement with Diggy before this last injury by Jones. But what are you going to get for Jones? And if you're not going to get much for Jones, just stick with Jones for another year. Like, it's not like maybe Bridgewater makes it more fun, and maybe we win another game.
Really?
Maybe that's how he feels. But Bridgewater's not getting us to a Super Bowl anyway. I would just stick with Jones and bring in a competent backup at that point.
Diggy, why do you want Diggy? This is you're losing me, baby. Why do you want to stopgap quarterback when we could just let the quarterback we got now finish his rookie contract? The rookie contract's only 4 years. The 5th year is an option. Why would you want to stopgap quarterback who could possibly get us to 500 when if Daniel Jones is as trash as you're telling me he is, we can get a top 5 pick? Giants fans, y'all make no sense. Here's the thing. Let me tell you how to hate and troll the proper way. Okay? This is how you hate and troll.
Now, by the way, Fisk, I don't mind bringing in Bridgewater to compete with Jones.
Yeah.
What Denver did with Drew Lock. And if Jones gets beat, he gets beat.
You know why I don't mind doing that, Chris? That's a bad idea. You know why? Because if Daniel Jones sucks, then we need that top 5 pick. This is how you troll a quarterback. I've done it for years. If you think Daniel Jones is that bad, if y'all hate him that much, y'all should be begging he comes back next year. Because if he's as bad as y'all think he is, then we could get Bryce Young in 2023. Why the hell would y'all want to stop that quarterback that could be competent enough to get us to like 8 wins, and we can't get a good quarterback in 2023?
The other thing I'll say about Bridgewater, though, would he want to come to the Giants?
No,
because like Bridgewater seems like he's been selective in the teams that he's gone to. Like, he was smart. Like, he stayed with the Saints until he got an opportunity because he knew that it was a really good situation. He went to the Broncos. Now, I don't know if the Broncos will select a quarterback or not, but maybe they will, and maybe they'll move on. And I don't know all the opportunities that are going to be out there, but you look around the league right now, there may be, like the Steelers, for example, they may look like a more, I don't even know if a guy like Bridgewater would want to come to the Giants looking at their situation with their offensive line and everything else. So maybe not.
And that's all I'm saying. I just don't understand it because, like, I'm putting myself in the shoes of a Daniel Jones hater. If I hated Daniel Jones the way a lot of y'all Giants fans do, and I really thought he was trash, let me see. I can get 2 offensive linemen this year. This bum-ass quarterback gonna stink it up next year. We get our future quarterback. Why on God's green earth would I go out and get Teddy Bridgewater or Derek Carr and possibly compete in this sorry-ass division and then not be able to get a quarterback in next year's draft? If Daniel Jones is as bad as y'all say he is, then we should keep him so we suck next year. What the hell is wrong with y'all? I'm confused.
I'm not gonna cry at all if they stick with Jones next year. I am of the mindset now where I don't think he's gonna be the long-term guy, but I don't think a Bridgewater's making a big difference with this team. I don't think a Garoppolo's making a big difference with this team.
If we bring in Jimmy G, I'm killing the channel. I won't do Giants videos.
I have said, Fisk, and I said it, and I actually saw Chris Canty tweet this like 2 weeks ago. I said that like a year ago. People were asking me if the Giants do move on from Jones and they bring in a stopgap, who would it be? I think it would be Garoppolo because but the only thing with Garoppolo is we'll see if the Niners are able to get something for him because he's due $27 million. I'm not trading for him. I'd only bring him in if he became a free agent. But his ties to Judge and Shoplinski, I always thought that would be the guy if they look to get a stopgap. But
I think Daniel Jones is injury prone. Wait till you get a load of this fucker.
I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah, I don't want it. But that's who I always thought would be the stopgap if Judge was still with the team if they moved on from Jones.
What up, Eli Rax? What up, baby? What up? All I'm saying is I feel like we've talked way too much about Daniel Jones.
You knew it was going to happen. You're the guy that said he was Peyton Manning with legs,
and I was right for a year. I was right. Hell, I may have been right 2 years, but you know, that 88-yard run.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Fisk, and I give you credit for having the balls to say that when everybody reacted the way I did, and I definitely gave him as much of an opportunity as I can. He definitely had a good rookie year. He was never Peyton Manning with legs.
Now, hold on, Chris. All right, here's my thing, Chris, right? The same way they hate Daniel Jones is how I hated Eli Manning, right? Down the stretch. Like old Eli. I hated him, right? What I don't understand is I hated Eli, so I was grateful for whatever quarterback we took in that draft. It could have been, damn it, I didn't care if it was Josh Allen. No, not Josh Allen. No. Yeah. This is what I'm bringing. This is the point I'm trying to make to you, Chris. I thought we were supposed to take a quarterback the Saquon draft. I thought we waited a year too late.
So but if we would have taken a quarterback, you knew it was either going to be Darnold or Rosen. So neither one of them would have worked.
Well, here's the thing. I know Darnold looks bad. I get it. He was ruined. If Darnold goes to the Giants, hypothetically speaking, under Pat Shurmur, okay? Him, Eli, him.
Now remember, he don't have Saquon,
but he's got Odell. He's got Odell.
Maybe. But why wouldn't get him in? Why wouldn't get him and trade Odell? What does Darnold make a difference?
No. Because what I'm saying is like he.
Because Odell played in 18 with Eli. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is this: if we get Darnold, he sits for a year under Eli and learns how to be a pro.
Which is what they should have done with Danny.
Exactly. Well, we tried, but Eli stunk up the joint. So what I'm trying to say is like, life is different if we took a quarterback and groomed him for a year, and then he comes into a situation where it's like, guess what? Now in the Daniel Jones draft, we take a tackle. So we let Eli Manning get beat the hell that rookie year, and then we prepared a rookie, sit him for a year, and we build that offensive line. That's how we should have done it. We shouldn't have taken a running back with no offensive line, and then take a quarterback with no offensive line, and then year 3 under Gettleman, now we want to take Thomas.
I'm going to be honest with you, Fisk, and I was always a guy that actually disagreed with fans who were completely out on Darnold. And I did think he could succeed with Carolina, but I don't think Darnold was going to succeed here. I don't think Darnold would have succeeded here. I know Rosen wouldn't have succeeded here. And that was before I saw he played in the league. I never thought he had the mental makeup to play in New York.
Well, I'm just talking Darnold and Allen. Darnold and Allen.
Allen might have. I mean, I think Allen – listen, Allen was a guy when I saw his physical skill set. This is before it was on YouTube. I was in love with his upside. But if you're being fair with yourself, you don't know if Josh Allen would have been Josh Allen with the New York Giants.
Yeah, he was, because he had Odell from day one. He didn't get good until he got Diggs.
And Brian Dabble's offense certainly helps too. And they have a pretty good offensive line, or they did have a pretty good offensive line.
I think Shurmur offense is comparable.
I think Allen would have been good, but it is what it is. I think most Giant fans would have reacted poorly had they taken Josh Allen on draft night, but it probably would have worked out. I think he's top 5 talent.
So let me bring it full circle, Chris. The point I'm trying to make is we should have took that quarterback the year before we did it. And I'm in full agreement with Chris. Don't take a quarterback at the wrong time. All right. We took Daniel Jones at the wrong time. The right time to take the quarterback was the year before DJ. Giants fans who are rushing DJ out the door. This year's the wrong time to take a quarterback. 3 years ago, we should have waited. Guess what? If you want to move on from Daniel Jones, you need to wait. Don't take a quarterback at the wrong time. We took Daniel Jones at the wrong time. The time to take a quarterback was the Saquon draft.
Now I get what you're saying. Now I want you to put Joe Judge's hat on. I don't want you to think as a Giants fan. I want you to think about from Joe Judge's perspective.
Okay.
Year 3. We just talked about how he can't keep losing games now. Gettleman's out the door. They bring in a Patriots guy. They bring in I don't know. Name a guy, Ziegler, somebody from the Patriots to be the general manager. Put your Joe Judge hat on. You had nothing to do with drafting Daniel Jones. You didn't draft Daniel Jones. Since you've gotten here, you have not won any games. Are you going to put your job on the line with Daniel Jones year 3 at quarterback? Or are you going to either A, try to trade for a quarterback, or B, draft a quarterback thinking that it may give you some more stability? Because you could say to the owner, listen, he's a rookie, took him a little time to develop. Now he needs to take a bigger step forward in year 2.
Truth be told, if I'm Judge, I'm going down the ship. I'm going down with DJ.
You're rolling with DJ another year.
You know why? Because this is New York. New York coaches don't get that bullshit that happened with Matt Nagy. That extra year because you get a rookie quarterback. That shit don't happen for New York coaches. Joe Judge stinks up the joint next year. We're not blaming Danny. Well, of course, we're gonna launch Daniel Jones with him, but Judge, you're out of here too. There's not gonna be no such thing as Joe Judge can save his soul or buy himself time by drafting a young quarterback and saying, give me time to develop him. No, you just had a young quarterback and you fucked him over. Daniel Jones is in year 2, coming off of 24-12, and you ruined him. What makes you think we're going to trust you with another quarterback? Now, if I'm Joe Judge, I need to win games. I build an offensive line around Daniel Jones. Let's see if Saquon can get busy behind some real offensive line. And to be honest with you, Chris, if I'm Joe Judge, I'm going to Nick Saban and I'm begging him for Bill O'Brien. Please give me Bill O'Brien. That's the best you can do. Because you can't get Josh McDaniels from Belichick. So if we're talking about coordinators who Joe Judge knows and somebody we know can run an NFL offense and fix this bullshit, just go get Bill O'Brien.
But now you're putting Jones in another scheme. It's going to take him time to learn that.
He'll be all right.
I just think it's a disaster. No matter what they do. Like, I think if they stick with Jones, they're probably going to stick with Kitchens because they're going to be like, we don't want to bring in another guy. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do, man. But I'm going to tell you, if I was Judge, and it's why I kind of don't want Judge back because I don't want to have a coach that's short-sighted because I know we're not winning a Super Bowl next year. But if it was me and I'm Joe Judge, I'm either probably drafting a quarterback or I'm doing everything in my power to try, if within reason, try to trade for a guy like Russell Wilson. Because I know my job's on the line. If I have another 4 or 5 win season, I'm out of job. And if you're being honest, how do you have supreme confidence in Daniel Jones? The guy has not won. And again, I agree with most of what you say that he's not the main reason why, but I don't know, man. If I was Judge and I don't want this, I want to be more long-term thinking. I would try to win next year.
Well, here's the deal, Chris. He doesn't have the option to get rid of Jones, though. It's like, all right, in a perfect world, we trade for Watson. Let's just call it what it is. In a perfect world, we take both those first-round picks and we get Deshaun. And we pray we sign, we pray we can get a free agent tackle or hit one in the second round. In a perfect world, Chris, I would take both those first round. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. In a perfect world, I'd take one of those first round picks, Saquon and Daniel Jones, and send them to Houston. Hell, I think that's the trade for Russell Wilson. You give him Saquon Jones in the first round pick and you get Russell. I think that's the trade. If you want to be honest with you, the Giants have the best package for Russell Wilson or Deshaun. Because
let me ask you this. Why in the world, outside of his wife, does Russell Wilson want to come here?
That's all you need. What are you talking about? It's New York City. That's all you need.
Happy wife's a happy life.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life. I mean, at that point, bro, Brady turned down the Chargers because of Giselle. Giselle lives in New York, so Brady had to stay closer to New York. That's why he chose Tampa over LA. At least that's what Colin Cowherd said. Colin Cowherd was like, because he's the one who broke the Brady news. So he was like, I've been told that Brady needed to be within flying range of Giselle, who's in New York with the kids. So he, on off days, this is what I was told, he was flying back and forth to New York. So yeah, happy wife, happy life. That's what Colin Cowherd said. But my whole thing is, honestly, Chris, I'm looking at this from John Mara's perspective. He's not moving on Jones. So if I'm stuck with Jones, I'm building the offensive line.
I think no matter what, you build the offensive line.
Yeah, I'm building the offensive line.
Let's play the hypothetical scenario where you trade for Wilson. Say you trade a first, a third, and a future third, and a couple of players to offset the salary, and you get Russell Wilson. I am spending my first round pick. You're at that point. I'm not even thinking defense. I'm thinking getting everything in my power to make sure I could get the most out of Russell Wilson. So no matter what they do, I'm going heavy offensive line.
But here's the thing: if I'm the GM, that's what I would do. Joe Judge, in my opinion, I don't think he had. I just think Mara doesn't get the blame he deserves for calling the shots, man. That's a Mara decision.
Mara's trash.
Yeah, but people don't blame. Like, what I mean is, people don't blame him the way they blame Jerry Jones, stuff like that.
Because John Mara to me is like a pussy Jerry Jones.
There you go. Thank you, Chris.
Like Jerry Jones comes out and says it.
Yes.
I'm making the decisions. I'm influencing decisions with this football team. I'm the GM. I'm the head man in charge. John Mara may not be the general manager, but John Mara absolutely, without letting the fans know, has an impact on the decisions that go on with this football team. He just doesn't let you know about it.
Behind the scenes. And Giants fans, like I told y'all a million times, if I ran the Giants, I'm getting Watson. Period. That's my guy. I'm going to get Watson. Because as far as I'm concerned, we got one of the 5 best left tackles on the planet. I will find a right tackle through hella high water. I was free agency, a trade, the draft. I'll get a right tackle. Both those first round picks can go for Watson. You're not going to get a better package than that shit.
I'm guessing James is a Cowboys fan. He says, watch how you talk about Jerry Jones. I'm going to be honest with you. And I freaking hate the Cowboys. Obviously, I'm a Giants fan. I think Jerry Jones actually deserves more credit than he gets, to be completely honest with you.
I agree.
I think Jerry Jones, I frequently actually compliment the way that the Dallas Cowboys build their football team. So I actually think Jerry Jones gets a bad rap, and I actually think the Cowboys have had a lot of bad luck. They've built their team very well in the last 7 or 8 years.
Oh, no, it's the coaching. That's his blind spot because Jerry Jones
he was too loyal to Garrett.
Oh no, it wasn't about loyalty. It's about he wants a clapper. He wants a puppet. He wants a puppet. If he went Jerry Jones, you are the owner of the Cowboys. You could get any head coach you want, but he chooses to get these puppets. He doesn't want another Bill Parcells. He
also has an ego.
Exactly.
Like all you got to do is look back at those Super Bowl teams with Jimmy Johnson.
You don't want another Jimmy Johnson.
He put his ego above the team, and he fired Johnson after they won 2 straight Super Bowls, and he hired Barry Switzer. But in terms of like the Cowboys' general philosophy, I hate to say it, Fisk, that is exactly how we build a football team. So I frequently give the Cowboys credit, man. You look at all these.
He took CeeDee Lamb over an offensive lineman, Chris.
He took CeeDee Lamb after he spent 4 first-round picks on his offensive line.
But he still passed on what
But he got the line situated before he started worrying about all the bells and whistles. He got Tyron, he got the tackles, he got the center, he got the guards. He's not taking Odell Beckham, he's taking Zach Martin. He got the line situated first.
I give you that.
Then he got Zeke. Then he got Amari Cooper. Then he got CeeDee Lamb. That is the proper way to build a football team, which is why I always give the Cowboys a lot of credit.
But at the end of the day, though, Chris, Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson are like a year apart. I think Watson is a year older than Jones, but they're both like 24, 25. If I ran the Giants, I love Daniel Jones. I'm his biggest fan. But I know for a fact, because I do a lot of Saints content, I know for a fact they'll give us a second. Hell, they might give us a first for DJ in New Orleans. That situation, the quarterback in New Orleans, is terrible right now. Jameis tore his ACL. Simeon's trash, and Hill's not a starting quarterback. We can give Daniel Jones to the Saints. We can give him to Denver. I would trade both of our first-round picks for Watson, and I will get a tackle. somehow, some way, I would get a tackle in that Daniel Jones package. One of them picks I get for Daniel Jones, because it's going to be at worst a second-round pick. We will fix that offensive line. I got Deshaun Watson, a mean-ass left tackle, Tony, Galladay. We cooking. We're cooking.
By the way,
All
I
we need is that dude.
I misspoke. I think I said the linebacker. I meant Tyron Smith, the left tackle for the Cowboys. You see everybody saying he sucks. I meant Tyron Smith.
And Biggie said Pittsburgh. That's another one. Pittsburgh will give us a second-round pick for DJ.
I don't know coming up. If you get a second-round pick for DJ, I'd do it right now. But I don't know. Before the injury, I agreed that I think somebody would have given us a second-round pick. But with the injury now, I don't know. I don't know if you would get that. Maybe you would. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know.
No, we'd get a second.
Do I think there's a team out there if they feel like he's complete? Like, do I think Sean Payton feels like he could win games with Daniel Jones? 1,000%. Like 1,000%. I think he definitely feels like he's smart enough, and Jones has the necessary natural raw physical ability to be able to win football games with his offense. So I think it's the injury thing is what concerns me, though, in terms of Jones losing trade value.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is, no, pre-injury, he's a first round. All right. Quarterbacks go for first. Unless you're Jimmy G and Belichick is being petty, because Jimmy G would have went for first if Belichick wasn't being petty. Even Carson.
The only reason Jimmy G got traded was because of Brady.
Exactly. And Belichick was being petty.
By the way, I'm going to throw this out. I'm curious to get the chat's take on this, because I actually liked him coming out of college, and I know he didn't look good in the only game he played this year. This is my theory on the Green Bay Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to stay with the Packers, and I think he's going to do the same thing Brady did with Garoppolo. I think he's going to force the Packers to trade Jordan Love.
Oh, you're not going where I think you're going.
Do you give up a third-round pick for Jordan Love?
Hell no.
To compete with Daniel Jones? Could that be your competition? But he's going to be a free agent the next year. Like, that's just out-of-the-box thinking. I was thinking about it earlier today.
Nah. Gardner Minshew, yes. Jordan Love, no.
But Jordan Love has talent. It's not like he's void of talent. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing the idea. I'm throwing the idea out there.
If I'm gonna bring in a random quarterback, give me Minshew. I'll take Minshew. If we get rid of Daniel Jones, I'll try my luck on Minshew.
Yeah, but the Eagles ain't trading Minshew to the Giants.
Minshew's out. I don't know. Minshew contract is over. Remember, Minshew was a 6th round pick.
No, but you get 4 years, don't you? Let me take a quick
look. This is year 4.
Is it year 4?
No. You got 3 years. 6th round picks don't get 4 years. I think the option year is 4th. The 4th year is the option year, I think.
I'm gonna take a quick look.
6th round pick.
He is he's still got 1 more year.
But here's the thing, though: the Eagles are drafting a quarterback anyway, so that's irrelevant.
He's only going to cost $965,000 to keep. I don't think they'll cut. I mean, maybe they trade him, but
I think you know why I think they cut him, Chris? Because
you get something for him, so why would they cut him?
Hurts is their backup though, because they spent the 2nd round pick on him.
Yeah, but they could still trade. Like they could at least get something from Minshew. Why wouldn't they just trade him?
Yeah, I mean, trade him to us.
And you ain't trading to the Giants. You ain't helping out the Giants.
Shit, they helped out the fucking Cowboys.
Well, no, the
I'm
Cowboys.
sure they regret that shit.
The Cowboys helped out the Eagles.
Man, hey, look, I don't give a damn, bro. Tony better than Devontae Smith, so eat it, Cowboy fan. No, Eagle fans, eat that. Tony is better than Devontae. I said it. That boy Tony, when he healthy, he make that one cut. That boy Tony was nasty. Devontae Smith ain't done nothing like Tony was doing. Tony was cooking. Deion Sanders reincarnated ass, Diggs or whatever. When they was comparing him to and that's another thing, real quick, Chris, before we move on. I'm sick of Cowboy fans trying to tell me that Micah Parsons is LT and Diggs is the next Deion Sanders. You Cowboy fans are getting out of hand with these comparisons. Y'all need to chill. Okay? These Cowboy fans is bigging up, like, bro, stop. Like the Lawrence Taylor comparisons with Micah Parsons.
This is what I compare it to, Fist. This is what and Micah Parsons looks fantastic. Okay? Micah Parsons is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He is great. He has a great future ahead of him in the NFL. But here's what I'll compare it to. Tupac. That's the first musician that comes to my head. Tupac is basically what Lawrence Taylor is in terms of rap.
Agreed.
When people say who's the greatest rapper ever, that's like the first thing people say. Or
Agreed.
maybe it'll be, I don't know, Dr. Dre or Nas or name whoever you think the greatest rapper.
You good enough. Tupac is a good one. That's a good
Tupac.
one.
It would be like, and I don't listen to rap, but who's like a new rapper that's made like one great album?
It'd be like somebody saying that some young punk like one of these young look like a I don't know. I don't listen to
Whoever it
these
is,
young rappers.
whoever's like the new hot rapper who's made one great album, it would be like saying that guy is Tupac. Exactly. It's just stupid.
It's very stupid.
Like, let that guy put together 4 or 5 platinum albums before you start entering him into that conversation.
Exactly.
And that's what I'll say about Micah Parsons. Like, Micah Parsons looks great. He's off to a great start. He's played 13 great games in the NFL. Stop with the Lawrence Taylor talk.
Agreed.
Nonsense.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It's a slappable offense.
Yeah.
It's a slappable offense. Like, stop. Enough. And you know another thing, Cowboy fans, y'all kiss my ass. Y'all got your own great pass rusher comparing to DeMarcus Lawrence. Why y'all gotta come to the Giants side? Why y'all don't compare him to DeMarcus Lawrence? I'll wait.
I said it in my tweet. I said it in my tweet, Fisk. Jason Pierre-Paul had 16.5 sacks in his second year. We didn't even utter the words Michael Strahan.
Facts.
Not let alone Lawrence Taylor. We didn't even utter the words Michael Strahan.
Oh, Chris, you know what? Hot take, Chris. I know you disrespected him earlier in the stream, but this is how we transition into defense, right? Because you are aware that A.Z. Ojulari might be better than Chase Young.
I'm not disrespecting Ojulari. I think Ojulari's a good player.
Now, you said he was a number 2.
I do. I still think he's a number 2. I don't think he's number 1.
But he better than that damn Chase Young. Hey, watch it, fans. Chase Young has 7.5 sacks his rookie season. Our guy Ojulari got 8 right now, right? Or is it
7.5 maybe.
So
he's got a good amount.
And we rushed 3 people more than any team on the planet. This is with 3-man rushes. Our guy A.Z. Ojulari done found a way to get 7.5 sacks.
I like Azeez Ojulari. I thought it was a good pick. I thought he was a great scheme fit when we brought him in, but I still don't think he's an elite edge rusher. And Chase Young to me is like. Chase Young is a guy, you know who he reminds me of? And maybe he won't live up to it like this guy didn't either. Jadeveon Clowney. Like when Clowney was drafted, Clowney's raw physical abilities were eye-popping. But he wasn't like as refined as a guy like Bosa. Like Bosa had all the great pass rusher moves, yada, yada, yada. Chase Young to me is like Clowney. Clowney never developed into his ceiling. And so far, Chase Young is not. Some of that due to the injury, obviously. But I still think he could be great. I hope not, but I think he could.
Check this out, right? The free agency happens before the draft, all right? I'm letting y'all know this right now. If by some miracle the Giants get a tackle in free agency, all right, because we
have no money.
We ain't had no money last year. We signed Galladay and Adoree and Leonard Williams. I ain't trying to hit. The Saints was negative $95 million in cap last year and still signed people in there.
Maybe. All right, go ahead.
Salary cap don't exist. All right, it don't exist. If by now, I'm not saying we're gonna give some tackle $80 million. I'm just saying if we got a serviceable tackle for on a $45 million contract, like a second tier tackle, a serviceable starter, hypothetically speaking, Chris. If Hutchinson and Thibodeau were there at 5 and 6. Mm-hmm. And we went back to back like Drake on Meek Mill, just took them both, I wouldn't be mad. I know we need offensive line help, but if
you're in fantasy land. Both those guys are not getting there.
It's possible, Chris.
It's a dream one gets there. Both of them are not going to get there.
You know why?
I think it's possible one gets there. I don't think both.
I think Evan Neal goes to Jacksonville. And the Jets, I don't know what the Jets are going to do. I'm not a Jets fan.
The Jets need defense.
This guy, Zach Wilson's getting murdered out there.
But they already took 2. They took a first-round offensive lineman last year. They took a first-round offensive lineman the year before. They took Becton. And then this past year, they took Elijah Vera Tucker. So I think they need an edge. I think the Jets will take an edge if he gets to one of those edges. They could take the safety, though, because a lot of Jets fans tell me they need it. Hamilton is supposed to be like the best player in this draft. He's a safety, so maybe they
need a wide receiver.
I don't think both of those edge rushers are getting to us.
I'm just saying.
You can dream it up and hope, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
But here's the thing, Chris. It's not out the realm of possibility the Giants end up with 4-5 because the Jets are gonna beat Jacksonville. If we end up with 4-5 and the Jets fall to 6, if we got picks 4 and 5, it's possible.
I ain't gonna bank on it, man. I ain't gonna bank on it, but
I mean, I'm not gonna bank on it. I'm just saying, stranger things have happened. If the Giants have picks 4 and 5, I'm just saying, stranger things have happened.
You never know.
Especially my thing is, if I'm the Jets, guess what? Somebody's gonna want a quarterback. I trade back.
Well, the Giants could trade back too.
We better not just sorry.
Well,
we better
all right.
not.
All right. Well, why? But you could say the same thing about the Jets. If one of those guys are there, why would they trade back?
Because they're the Jets and they dumb.
And we're not dumb.
No, see, there's a difference between being dumb and just making bad decisions. We make bad decisions. They're dumb.
No, we're dumb. We're dumb. Let's call it how it is. We're dumb.
I feel like the Giants, like, you know what the Giants are? The Giants are that horrible math student that shows his work and still get it wrong. The Jets are the guy who just marks C the whole fucking test and hope he passes. All right, that's the difference.
We're both dumb. We're both dumb.
Okay, you know, Chris, yeah, we're both dumb. Fuck it. Yeah, we both dumb. Yeah, I agree. We're both dumb. Shout out the no, we're not doing that, Donnie. No, we're not asking Chris that. Lee. No, we're not doing that, Donnie. No, we're sticking to the Giants. We're not getting into that nasty shit. All right, that shit is nasty, Donnie. And you know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. Chris, for the record, I hope you don't, because I think it's fucking disgusting. Okay, I do.
What is that, butt?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Hey, T2, you make sure you put this in the weekly stream compilation. I'm not alone on the world. Nasty motherfucker.
I can't believe that. I don't know. I'm not going to go there, but I can't believe that's like viewed as an oddity.
Nah, because on my other show, Shots Fired, on the other podcast, Jagganoff is just like, he's a freak, and that's what his favorite thing to do. And he turned my chat against me. And the chat think I'm the weird one because I don't want to do it.
I don't think you're weird. I think you're normal.
Thank you, Chris. See, civilized conversations. You see, it's possible. Oh my gosh. Nasty mofos. But all right, so here's the deal, Chris. What I want to transition to defense because before we went on that hour-long Daniel Jones tangent, my biggest credit to Gettleman is he fixed the defense. What Giants fans don't remember is how horrible we were under Betcher. Our defense was an abomination. It was. Yeah. He fixed that. For all the wrong things Gettleman has done, the Odell trade, not fixing the offensive line, not cutting Evan Ingram out of all the Jerry's plays you got rid of, he's made mistakes. But that defense is still carrying us to this day, 2 years strong. Gotta give him credit for
that. Were you talking about Gettleman?
And we're young at the defense position too. Like, we didn't get old bums. We got, outside of Logan Ryan, Bradbury prime, Martinez is prime, Leonard Williams is prime, Jabril Peppers heading into his prime, Xavier McKinney.
We got some nice pieces on the we got some nice pieces on the defense, and we fixed it quick, but we still need like 2 elite players to make that like a truly like high-end defense. We need like a linebacker, an all-purpose linebacker, and we need an edge.
I thought that was what Blake Martinez was for.
Blake Martinez, to me, he's not a guy that could. I'm talking about like a partial.
Oh, you want a Luke Kuechly?
I'm talking about a guy that could drop back in coverage. I'm talking about a guy that could rush the pass. Like Devin White. I'm talking about a true.
Okay, yeah, okay. You
all-purpose linebacker. Isaiah Simmons.
We could have took him, but nah.
Yeah, we needed
Andrew Thomas too good. Nah, Andrew Thomas too good. Nah.
But we need a player like that, and I think we need an edge.
You know who could be our all-purpose linebacker if we just put him there? And I was saying this before he got hurt. I really just think we should have put Jabril Peppers in middle linebacker. The minute Blake Martinez got hurt, we should just put him there.
I see. By the way, I see Floyd Samuels. A couple of my subscribers have told me to look into this guy, Devin Lloyd. That guy reminds. I'm not going to set the expectations that he's going to be as good as him. But I remember I did a lot of film study last year on Micah Parsons. Not film study, but watched a lot of film study at Micah Parsons. Devin Lloyd has attributes like him. Devin Lloyd pops off the page for me. I like Devin Lloyd a lot, Floyd. And if the Giants say take a tackle at 5, maybe they trade down to 9 or 10, I would be all of. I like Devin Lloyd a lot. I think he's gonna be a damn good linebacker. He's one of the guys I got my eye on. I like him a lot.
So, all right. So let's say we trade back, right? Let's say we're sitting and pick like 8 or 9, right? Let's say somebody wanted a quarterback. We gave them our 6th pick, right? Lindenbaum or Lloyd? What you doing?
Oof. You know what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same page. Because I just believe, Chris, when it comes down to it, I'm all the way. There's no 50-50. There's no gray area with me in my life. I'm either one thing or I'm the other. I don't have a gray area.
I'm shoring up the line, but I'm not gonna be upset if they take a guy like Lloyd and then take a lineman early second. But if it's me, I'm sick and tired of mess. Like you know, I see a lot of people on Twitter. They always say, "Well, we could just do what the Chiefs did. The Chiefs took a lineman in the 4th and 6th, and look how good they are." Do you think those linemen in the that they got in the 4th and 6th would look as good with this team? They got Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid.
But wait a minute. Okay, but those same people, they don't talk about the 1st-round pick they gave for Orlando Brown and that $80 million contract they get to Tooney from New England. So it's not it's not like, oh my gosh, look at the Chiefs just fixed their line with late round picks. No, they invested into it. And unlike the Giants, Tooney is a hit. We missed on Solder. So it's like, get him
and we let Zeitler go. And it's a mess, man. But another prospect. I like that we're talking a little prospect here. I looked into him too, Dustin. He's the 3rd ranked edge rusher in this draft class out of Purdue. He's got a great story. I watched his ESPN special, but yeah, he's a hard-nosed player. He's a guy. I probably wouldn't take him as high as we're going to be picking, but I like him. George Caro, however you say it, he's from Greece. He's a good prospect.
All I'm gonna say is, when I do something, I do it all the way. If I take a tackle with 5, I'm fixing my guard position at 6, because at the end of the day, Chris, we can't close games because we can't run the ball. Joe Judge wants to play defense and win with field position. You can't do that if you can't run the ball. You can't control the clock if you can't run the ball. Fix this damn line. Get an interior lineman. Is Nick Gates coming back, or is career over? Because I remember
I'm not banking on him. I'm not banking on him. The guy's had 7 surgeries to his leg.
Jesus.
I'm not banking on it. Like, maybe, but you can't go into next year being like, yeah, he's going to be a guy. No, you cannot bank on that.
Yeah, so okay, yeah. So go interior and go edge. I mean, not edge, but
tackle.
Exterior. Yeah. Exterior. Go exterior, go interior, Chris. I'm sick of the bullshit. I want to run the ball. I want to pass the ball. Fix this fucking line. All the way. I'm all the way. No if and I don't listen. Unless he's Lawrence Taylor, pick the damn lineman. If he ain't Lawrence Taylor or Ray Lewis, and you not willing to have a gun put to your head to validate that shit, you pick the damn lineman.
You're speaking my language.
Pick that shit.
You're speaking my, because the way I look at it, Fisk, is you've got to. The plan has to be to set if Jones is not going to be the guy long term, the plan has to be for the next guy who comes in to be set up for success. So I'm with you.
Exactly.
Take your 2 linemen, and in the next draft, if you deem that Jones is not going to be your guy, bring your quarterback in, and he's going to have a much better foundation. So I'm with you. Fix the line.
Fix that line. I listen, we could take our first 3 picks can be linemen for all I care. If y'all don't like, because look, if Nick Gates can't come back and we need a center, we could take a tackle, a guard in 2nd round. We got a center over there too. Take him too. Fix the whole line, because Andrew Thomas at the moment is all we got.
That's it.
He's a stud. Now, granted, he's a stud, but at some point, imagine if we had Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal on the other side, man.
We're not going to be talking about line. We're not going to be talking about line for 10 years, at least at the tackle position.
Oh, Chris, boom. That's what I wanted to ask you. So I did a video. Earlier this year, I did a video, right? Because Giants fans was tripping out about offensive line, right? So I said, Giants fans, if y'all want an offensive lineman so bad, why we ain't just trade for Orlando Brown like the Chiefs did? Because here's what I'm thinking, Chris. Orlando Brown basically went for a second round pick because the Chiefs gave them the 32nd pick in the draft. Mean to tell me the Giants can give up a second and a third or something to get them? We wouldn't have to give up our 11th pick.
He was also making a lot of money, right?
Look, that cap don't exist when we don't want it to, because that cap does not exist. I'm a firm believer in it, bro. Look, have you seen the damn Rams team, Chris? What cap? What cap? What are we talking about? Okay, what are we talking about with the cap? You seen the Rams? That cap don't exist. So I'm just saying, we probably, if I could see if the Ravens got like a top 15 pick, I'd be like, okay, we didn't have a chance. The 32nd pick in the draft is basically a second round pick. They got rid of an elite right tackle for a second round pick. Like, I'm just thinking to myself, damn, Gettleman, you were nowhere to be found. We just let our Zeitler go to the Ravens. I mean, damn, like you not looking at the Ravens at all. Like, ugh.
They should have done something. I'll say that for them to just completely ignore the offensive line. I didn't get it. And yeah, I'm looking at the depth chart right now for the Chiefs. Orlando Brown. They also got Joe Tooney, who I forgot about. He's from
that was the $80 million from New England. $80 million from New England.
And then they drafted Humphrey. Yeah, man, they fixed that line real quick. Trey Smith also in the draft. Hey, man, they were able to do it in 1 year. But like I said, it's a lot easier when you got Mahomes and Reed. But
we could have put Andrew Thomas at right tackle. Everybody talking about something he wanted to play left tackle. That's fine. Andrew Thomas, we drafted Andrew Thomas to be a right tackle anyway. We didn't know Nate Soda was going to opt out because of the Resident Evil virus. We remember, at that time, I try not to say the words. I called it Resident Evil.
But Resident Evil virus. I like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, realistically speaking, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we draft Andrew Thomas and put him in right tackle? Because at the time we was paying.
Well, we didn't know what was going to happen, but he may have started at right tackle. I think the plan was to move him to left eventually, but he might have started the year at right tackle.
Yeah. So shout out to Don J though. Remember, supporting big fish is supporting small businesses. If we trade Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, our Chicago first round pick, and a third round, damn. All right, yo, we better be getting Jesus right now. He a 2023 second round pick and a 2023 fourth round pick. That should be more than enough for Deshaun. That's more, bro. I better be getting the Andrew Luck or something. 2012 Andrew Luck for that haul. That's way more than what they deserve for Deshaun Watson.
I think they would get that. I mean, let's be real here, Fisk. What value? Like Barkley to me doesn't really add much value to a trade right now.
No, have you seen them running backs in Houston?
I'm not saying he was successful there, but the market for Barkley is what? Maybe a 4th or 5th round pick right now?
Whoa, no. He's a second round. You can get a second for Saquon.
I mean, I love Saquon. I don't know if you can. He's a running back with injury history who's not performing well, he's only got a 1 year left on his deal.
If you called, for example, right? If you called a team like, who's a team right now that ain't got no? If you called the Buffalo Bills right now and said, "Yo, well, you Saquon."
If you get a second round pick for Saquon Barkley, they should trade him right now.
Oh, fuck, Chris.
Trade him right now. If you get a second round pick for Saquon Barkley, trade him right now. He's not going to be in the long term plans of this team.
All right. Check this out. All right. To answer Don J question, that's too much for Watson. I'm keeping them that second round pick.
Oh, I do that trade. I do that trade in a second.
I mean, if they said yes, I do it. But damn, I mean, if they said yes, I do it. But I'm just saying that's a bit much. All right, that's a bit much for Deshaun. All right, that's a bit much.
What are you talking about? First round pick? You're only giving up one first round pick. I would do it.
Yeah, 2/3.
Jones. There's no value. He's replacing Jones. So you're basically giving up Barkley, a first, a third, and a fourth.
No, he got a second in there. So we're giving away 2023 second, third, and fourth round picks. Deshaun Watson better win us 12 games because we're giving him. We're giving him, yeah, probably.
Not his first year, he wouldn't. But
but what I'm saying is like he said the second, third, and fourth round picks of 2023. So we're not gonna have a draft in 2023. We'll have a first round pick and we won't sniff it to the fifth. I think that's a bit much.
And it's gonna be at least a middle first round pick because you got to figure Watson had some wins.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm saying like if we can just take the fourth off the board and not do it.
But if you get Watson, you're getting a 25-year-old quarterback.
You know
like
what, Chris?
Like there's a guy you can build. Hopefully, if he keeps his head on straight for 10 years.
I do it. Yeah,
I would do it. I would do it.
But here's the thing: Mara's the king of the cover up. So if he start touching masseuses in New York, Mara cover that up though. Yeah, Mara the king of the cover. Mara cut that check. You know what I'm saying? Like anyway, I don't even want to go on that tangent. But look, all right, here's what I'm saying. So Saquon, here's how I look at Saquon. At this point, we can get him for cheap. Give him a contract. Give him like $12 million a year. Give him like
$12 million.
Give him like a 3-year, $35 million contract.
Do you know what the fan base would do if that happened?
They should jump for joy. Because Derrick Henry got 50. Aaron Jones got like 50.
So you still believe in Saquon?
No, it's not that I believe. It's no. Here's the thing, Chris.
Well, you have to believe in to a certain extent if you think they should sign him to that kind of money.
It's my Daniel Jones theory, Chris. He may not be great, but he's better than terrible. All right. What I'm trying to say is like Daniel Jones may not be great, but look at Mike Glennon. All right. Saquon Barkley may not be the greatest thing on earth, but damn, Devontae Booker's really? What we doing with that? So my thing with Saquon is I get it, Giants fans. I get it. I get it. But once again, he's better than nothing. Sometimes people just think that, oh my gosh, we can get a second round pick and we can replace Saquon. If it was that easy, why did it take the Giants 8 years to get Saquon? Remember all them sorry ass running backs we had before Saquon got here?
Orleans Darkwa, yeah, yada yada yada. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying, Chris.
My take on that would be let me get the offensive line to a point where I could put Orleans Darkwa behind there and he's gonna look good.
Yeah, but that's my point though. We're gonna fix that offensive line regardless. I'm saying instead of making Saquon play that 5th-year option, get him while he's cheap. Because if Saquon, when we build the line, Chris, all right, we're speaking this into existence. We're taking 2 offensive linemen in the first round. We fixing this shit. We speaking this into existence.
Okay.
So the Giants go into 2022 with a mean ass offensive line. Now Saquon Barkley looks like rookie year Saquon Barkley, and instead of getting this,
that's when I trade him. 12, if you want my honest opinion, and you know I friggin' love Saquon. Like Saquon's my favorite player on the team. If Saquon burst onto the scene next year and say, like you said, I've built that offensive line and he's putting up rookie numbers, I'm trading him. I'm trading him. If I could get a first round pick for Saquon, because you got to remember, Fisk, the new GM that comes in for the New York Giants has no ties to Saquon. Gettleman is gone. He's got no ties to Saquon. I never drafted the kid. How am I going to invest that kind of money in a position? Just look at the 2008 team, Fisk. What round was Brandon Jacobs drafted in? The 4th. Ahmad Bradshaw, the 7th. Derek Ward, the 7th. They had an incredible offensive line. If I fix that offensive line, I'm trading Saquon. If I get a first-round pick for Saquon, if he's playing at his rookie levels, I'm doing it.
Has it been that long since we talked, Chris? Last time we did a show, it's been that long since we collabed, Chris. The last time we did a show, you came on to a Fisk unit platform and told me that Saquon Barkley would solve all problems. Daniel Jones will look better with Saquon.
Well,
will look better than Saquon.
That the offensive line was going to improve, which it didn't.
I'm about to say, damn, because Saquon was your boy. You was telling me.
I love Saquon. Bro. I love Saquon, but it's kind of like with Jones, where I know we're not going to be able to pay these guys second contracts and be able to build this team properly. Like I feel like we got to put that money to good use.
Chris, not to interrupt you, you just brought a second contract. Hog Molly King, Aaron Hernandez, yes or no? Not Aaron. Will
Hernandez.
Yes or no?
No, I let him go.
Damn.
Unless there's no market for him. Like, if
right?
there was no market for him and I could bring him back on a really cheap deal, maybe. But he stinks. I mean, he's mediocre at best. He's
At
not
least
good.
he's reliable.
He's okay. Here's what I'll say. Do I think Will, if you got an elite tackle like Evan Neal, could look pretty good? I mean, yeah, I think he could. You know, you got to be fair, right? He's playing next to Nate Solder, and he's never played on the right side before. He's played on the left side his entire career. So if you got, an elite center, say you got Linderbaum and Neal, I think Hernandez could be okay. So if it's for the right deal and it's like really affordable, I might bring him back.
Hey, yo, Giants fans, newsflash. I don't give a damn who Deshaun Watson touching. If he can win us a Super Bowl, bring him in. Y'all hate Daniel Jones, but y'all don't want Deshaun? Oh my goodness, Giants fans. Y'all get on my damn nerves. Yeah, you hate Daniel Jones, but y'all don't want Deshaun because y'all here touching people. Man, please. Anyway, okay, so how do you feel about my offer though? If we could get Saquon for like 10 million, if we could get Saquon on a 3-year, $30 million deal, would you do it?
Not now. I'd have to see him bounce back next year, and then I would do it.
So you wouldn't gamble on the
No.
cheap deal?
No.
So I'm guessing my next question to you was going to be Jabril Peppers. You wouldn't do the same thing for Peppers? Get him on cheap deal?
No. Peppers, the only way I'm bringing Peppers back is if it's like a 1-year prove-it contract. And maybe that'll happen because he's coming off an ACL tear. Maybe he'll be like, I'm a Jersey guy. I'll take a couple extra $1 million to stay here for a year, get an opportunity to prove myself, and then maybe I'll cash in the next year with another team. But no, I'm not giving Peppers a multi-year contract.
Okay, so you're not gonna Belichick these dudes and get them cheap because it hurt. Then you're not gonna Belichick it because that's what Belichick does. He'll pay players he'll pay them while they're cheap. He won't pay for them like at their apex. He'll pay for them while they're cheap. And I was just thinking with Saquon, since he's had such a bad year, I was like, if we could get that guy, because my thing is Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, those guys, they make a lot of money.
But he's not. Listen, I love Saquon. He hasn't been Saquon since 2018.
But what does Mara think of him though, Chris? That's the difference. We can get rid of Gettleman, but Mara's still there. Mara sees him as a cash cow.
Well, you're asking what I would do. You're not asking what Mara will do.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying in general though. Like, I feel like if we're gonna keep Saquon, because Mara loves Saquon. Mara, every time Mara talks about Saquon, he loves Saquon. And he sells them jerseys, by the way. We gotta look at it from Mara.
Listen, I freaking love Saquon. Like, there is nobody on the team I want to succeed more than Saquon. But I have to think about the team. And I don't think it's in the best interest of the team to sign a running back at this point.
I don't think it is either. But if we can get him on a cheap, I just feel like, all right, if we can get Peppers on a cheap deal, do it. Because Logan Ryan's old, and I think we need to cut ties with him anyway.
But you can't cut him. Logan Ryan's dead cap. It's $12 million. You can't cut him next year.
Even on the final year of the deal?
The final year you can, but next year you can't.
I thought next year was the final deal.
No,
it was a 3-year contract.
It was a 3-year. Yeah, he signed a 1-year deal and then a 3-year extension.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm bugging. I forget we brought Logan Ryan in on that. Yeah, I forget about that. Oh yeah. Okay, so look, Jabril Peppers, we're gonna franchise him, and I'm gonna be pissed. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be pissed if we franchise that. At that point, we don't have a lot of cap money, Chris. If you're gonna franchise him, just pay him. Give him a cheap deal.
Oh, Peppers? I wouldn't franchise him. For me to keep Peppers, it would have to be like a Logan Ryan deal. When Logan Ryan signed here for the 1 year, like $5 million. Like, he's coming off the injury. There's not much of a market out there for him, and he's willing to come here for a cheap deal. That's the only way I'm keeping Peppers.
Right. I feel you. But look, Saquon, to put a bow on this, because I want to read the super chat at the end of the day, Chris, is Saquon's not what he was his rookie year, but damn, man.
Listen, man, I want Saquon to work out, and we'll see. I'm not going to definitively completely cut him out, and I do think fans have been harder on Saquon than he deserves, but obviously it's because we're losing. He's been hurt, but I think fans just expected him to bounce back like Adrian Peterson did right away, and I don't.
Peterson had a line,
but I don't think that's realistic. Like, Adrian Peterson is 1 in a million. Like, most players do not recover from an injury like that as quickly as Peterson did. And I think a lot of it right now with Saquon is mental too. Like, he probably doesn't fully trust his body the same way he did before that tear. So I hope Saquon comes out next year, looks incredible. And hopefully if we address the line, he does. And maybe I'll feel differently about Saquon in 2022, depending on how the team looks. But right now, I'm not even considering him, giving him any kind of extension right now.
Right. I respect that. Shout out to Don. We're getting more money in the salary cap if that Deshaun scenario really happened, and we use that money to bring in more good players in depth. Yeah, look, I'm all for Deshaun. That's my guy.
How do we get more money though? Deshaun Watson makes a lot of money.
Nah, because now we don't have because the thing is, like, even though Deshaun Watson has a big contract, the cap hit isn't that high. It's the cap hit.
Because they got to eat some. Well, that's just on the first year though.
Yeah, but but what I'm saying is, all right, so he makes 40 million, right? So all right, so like what I'm saying is, like, so it's $39 million on like paper, right? He makes $39 million a year. His cap hit might only be like 15, 16, 17 million dollars though.
I don't know the specifics of the Watson contract.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, so it's kind of like Odell Beckham, right? We had to eat the 17 million because we traded him too early.
For the first year, though. After that, we didn't.
Yeah, so Houston, technically, Chris, when they trade him, they're going to have to eat that money that first year, like we did with Odell. So that first year, we would be saving money because guess what? We're not going to have Saquon on the 5th-year deal, and we're not going to have Daniel Jones on the final year of his rookie deal. And we're not going to have to pay that extra first-round pick. That's $40 million right there. Because remember, the rookies, we just gave Andrew Thomas was the 4th pick. We gave him $40 million guaranteed.
Oh my God, I'm looking at Deshaun Watson's contract, man. He's next year he's due $40 million. The year after that he's due 42, and then he's due 37, and then 32. So
worth every penny.
Oh, listen, man, Deshaun Watson. I'm not downplaying Deshaun Watson. I think he's a top.
What's his cap hit though? What's the cap hit?
That is his cap hit. $40 million next year. 42.
Damn, that's the cap hit?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane. Because normally,
this year it was 16. It was 9. It was 10, 16, then 40, 42, 37, and 32.
Oh shit, that's insane.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, normally when like the cap hit is like Michael Thomas is making $20 million a year, but his cap hit with the Saints is only 10. You know what I'm saying? Like normally, like the cap hit for the team is normally lower than the contract. Yeah,
they distribute it in a way where they, I guess, like they front loaded it. It looks like because they're paying him less on the back end.
Yeah, that's some. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, you know why, Chris? There's no guaranteed money. I looked over the cap to look at it. After 2022, his contract's not
2022, you can cut him. It's only a $10.8 million dead cap hit after 2022.
Oh, wow. Oh, damn, Deshaun, bro, if I'm Deshaun Watson could actually, if he really he could play out that 2022 year and he can cut his ass.
Yeah, but Houston they're going to want to trade him.
Yeah, but they're not going to eat $42 million cap hit, though. No team's going to eat that. That's because if you go to Green Bay, Chris, Aaron Rodgers, they restructured his contract so he's a $50 million cap hit next year. So they either have to extend him to get his cap number down or trade him. They're not going to eat $50 million.
They're going to extend him. They're going to extend him.
Yeah, they're going to back up the British truck. Yeah,
he's going to stay there.
Shout out to Jamil. Giants don't take black quarterbacks, not getting Watson. That, check this out. You know what? I can't even dispute it. I hate when racist things come to my team because it's like we got.
Do you believe that? And I know a lot of people actually believe that. Do you really believe that the Giants would never draft a black quarterback?
I would say in order for us to get a black quarterback, Chris, he'd probably have to be Russell Wilson because John Mara he's so.
I hope that's not true.
I think it's true. No, I don't think we're racist because we had the former Jerry Reese. We're not a racist franchise.
The first black GM ever.
Yeah, we had Jerry Reese, but I just think that Mara is so conservative that if there was like a black quarterback with too much swagger, he wouldn't want him. Now, if it's God family football like Russell Wilson,
Do you
sure.
think it's that, or do you think like? Do you think that the Giants don't necessarily look like they look for pocket passers?
I give you here's the best example I can give you, Chris. And I tell Giants fans this all the time, and they're probably gonna shit on me in the chat when I say this. Y'all are aware that if we had the number 1 pick in 2019, we would still take a Daniel Jones over Kyler Murray, right? I don't think Mara would have drafted Kyler Murray.
I don't probably not.
I don't think we'd have drafted him.
I think the Giants really like Daniel Jones, but yeah, probably not.
I don't think
we'll never know, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think so. Even if I give you an example right now, right, Chris? While you're not a Kyler Murray fan, so I'm sure.
I think Kyler Murray. I've warmed up on Kyler Murray. I think
you warmed up on him.
I think Kyler Murray's a top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's like the people say he's an MVP. I don't agree with that. Like when I watch Kyler Murray to me, he's really talented. Don't get me wrong, and he definitely makes some incredible throws. But to me, Kyler Murray, for every great throw I see him make a really bad decision. And he's still young. He's still developing. I think Kyler Murray is going to be a great quarterback, though. I've warmed up on Kyler Murray.
And remember, they did laugh McAdoo out the room when he brought on Mahomes. They did do that. They laughed McAdoo out the room when he brought on Mahomes. But I'm gonna ask you a question, Chris.
Maybe I hope it's not true. It might. I don't know. There's no way I can know that.
Justin Herbert's there. I think
they loved Herbert. They loved Herbert.
Yeah. So yeah. We sent scouts to every game.
Gettleman was all about Herbert. We would have taken Herbert in had he come out in 2019.
So,
but Herbert's really good.
Yeah, he is. I'm just saying in general though, like. I just think that that's why he got rid of Odell. He didn't like that Odell was so like
maybe there's something to that. There might be something to that.
I think he's just ultra. I'm not saying he's. I don't think he's
my line of thinking. My line of thinking with why they traded Odell, and we'll never know the full. I guess I think they worried that Odell was going to be a bad influence on a new quarterback. That's what I think they thought.
And so we replaced him with Golden Tate.
I'm not saying it worked out, but I think that was the line of reasoning why they traded him.
I put it this way: if they didn't sign Golden Tate, I'd agree with you. The Golden Tate signing is what made me just.
Oh, was Tate really known as a guy that was like a? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, obviously he didn't. His last year here with his girlfriend off the field and all that, but I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think Tate had that kind of reputation
when you've been on that many teams. Something wrong with you. If he was that good, I mean, come on, Seattle let him go, Detroit let him go, the Eagles let him go. I'm a firm believer in it. When that many teams don't want you, Chris, something's wrong. You got to be doing something wrong, Chris, because shoot, they was putting up with Antonio Brown going on.
The Golden Tate signing made no sense.
It didn't.
The only sense that it made was like after they traded Odell, they were like, we need somebody, a veteran receiver to come in and at least catch footballs. And I actually did think that Tate fit Shermer's scheme well, but he didn't fit Garrett's scheme well the next year. But that was a horrible signing after they traded Odell. They should have never signed him.
Facts. I forgot what I was going to ask you, but shout out to Rob Hayes. He says we signed Jalen Smith. What do you think about him? A corpse.
He's done.
Yeah, a corpse.
The Packers signed him and they cut him like the next week. He's just a name at this point. He's done.
He's a corpse. Yeah, we're not. Bro, Dallas got rid of him. They put a C on his chest and cut him a month into the season. That tells you what you need to know.
The Giants are just desperate right now because of all the COVID stuff, and they're thin, and they put him on the practice squad. And maybe it's a little gamesmanship by Judge. Not that it's going to give us any kind of advantage, but we're playing the Cowboys this week. Maybe he feels like it could help them get a little insight. Who knows? But no, Jalen Smith's done, man.
Oh. Speaking of players who are done, how you feel about Isaiah Wilson? You think he's our guard of the future?
I hope. I saw a picture of Isaiah Wilson. The guy looks like he's definitely getting in better shape. I want to see him get an opportunity before the end of the year. I'd like to see him get an opportunity in the line before the end of the year. It's worth a shot. So he clearly had talent coming out. He was. I remember doing mock drafts in him. I would I remember saying if we take Simmons in the first, I'd be completely open to taking him in the second. Obviously, he had off the field stuff after the fact, but He's got potential. He's a former first-round pick, so give him a shot. I who knows, but let's see.
Do you think the reason he's not playing right now is because Joe Judge doesn't want to show the world he's good, and then we can't bring him back? Because that's what
Mm,
Sean Payton did to Jameis Winston last year. He didn't want to run the risk of Jameis looking good and getting a better contract
it's
somewhere
actually,
else.
you know what? I never thought about that. It's not a horrible take by you. Maybe he is keeping him on the practice squad and stashing him there, in hopes that if he does play really well the last 3 weeks, they got to give him a decent contract.
Because I was thinking, because
It's not a bad take by you.
when I was thinking about the offensive line, I was like, okay, so it'll be Thomas, Hernandez, Lindenbaum, Wilson, and Neal. That's how I was projecting it. Because I'm like, if for our line to be as bad as it is, Chris, and we're not putting Isaiah out there, I really just think it comes down to they don't want to risk losing him in the offseason. I think the Giants feel like we just got a 2020 first round pick who we can bring into camp, whip him into shape, and we got all the potential in the world. Like, why put that on film for somebody else to come poach from us? I think that's what the Giants are at with it. Because really, Chris, we got a first round pick just sitting on our practice squad with this sorry offensive line. We're not even gonna put him out there. Especially when he was drafted as a right tackle, and we have a revolving door right tackle right now. We're not going to put him out there. Nah, I think they're stashing him.
It's not a. And I never thought of that. You might be right on that. It's not a bad take, but he did come in overweight. He was 400 pounds, but
3 months ago.
yeah. No, you're right. You might be right. They might maybe they put him out there the last game or something, but they might not be. They don't want him to get 4 or 5, games of film and maybe impresses somebody and he signs somebody somewhere else. It's not a bad take by you.
Shout out to Corey. Thanks. Shout out to Corey. The Giants aren't better than Philly fluke win. Man, please.
Listen, I mean, we're not. Not right now, we're not. We got Mike Glennon at quarterback.
I mean, yeah. Well, Mike Glennon, if Daniel Jones is healthy, we be sweeping y'all. I just want y'all to know that.
I think we're at least comparable to them if we're healthy, but we're not.
Yeah, if Daniel Jones was starting, we will sweep y'all. But
if Jones was starting, if Martinez never got hurt, if we have our Shane Lemieux never goes down, Gates, I think we would at least be as good as them. If not
it'd be nice to see Tony and Shepard again. It'd be nice to see those guys.
Yeah, but the way our team is right now, they're definitely better.
Shout out to Corey. Just finally finished the last dance. Jordan's better than LeBron. Corey, you're not old enough to say that.
Corey's a smart kid.
No, he's not. No, Chris. All right, so check this out, Chris. It's been a while since we collabed. I got a new rule when it comes to all sports debates.
Okay.
If you were not outside when that player was doing what he does best, shut the hell up.
Well, I was.
You can say that, Chris, because what are you, 34?
36.
Damn, Chris, you got me by 4 years? Shit.
Oh, I just turned 36 like a month ago, but yeah.
Yeah, so, Chris was outside when Jordan was hitting them shots. Chris is qualified to say Jordan's better than LeBron. All you little punk mofos in your early 20s who watch a 10-hour documentary want to say he's better than LeBron. Shut up. You're not qualified. You're not qualified. You're too young.
Listen, LeBron's incredible. Jordan's better than LeBron.
But you can say that, though.
What I'll say is this, and we always get into this conversation because I guess it's such a popular conversation when it comes to basketball. And I don't know what it is, man. Kobe got so popular with the next generation, even like after Kobe retired. Kobe Bryant is not in the same. LeBron is so much better than Kobe. And I hear that debate all the time. Who's better, Kobe or LeBron? Let me ask you this question, Fisk. How many years? This is how the debate ends for me. How many years can you say that LeBron James was the best player on the planet when he played? At least 10.
I would say from 2000, and he's been the best player in the NBA since.
I don't think he's the best player now.
Oh no, he's still the best player since.
I don't think he's still the best player. I think he's among the best players. I'm saying undisputed best player. How many years can you say that over LeBron James's career?
It's 2021, so I'll say at bare minimum 13 straight years. At bare minimum,
I'll say between 10 to 13 years. You could say it. Okay.
Who was better than him in 2017?
How many years can you say it about Kobe? 2?
None.
He wasn't even the best player on his team with the Lakers. Shaq was the best player there. You know, and obviously after they got Gasol, he was the best. Maybe 2 years, you could say that Kobe was the best player on the planet.
My highest viewed NBA video was the Kobe Bryant is overrated video. Chris, he was never the best player on the planet ever. Because you got to remember, the year Kobe won MVP, I think 2009. It was either 09 or 2010, one of them years. No, it was 2008 Kobe won MVP. He lost.
People say Kobe's getting roasted. We're not roasting Kobe. Kobe's a top 10 player of all time. LeBron James is just better.
Yeah, but again, and this is the point I'm trying to make to you. Y'all gotta understand what Chris said is true. He wasn't the best player on his team when he was winning championships. That was Shaq, right? So Shaq leaves in 2005, right, Chris? In 2005, Kobe Bryant's not the best player on the planet. He couldn't even make the playoffs. That would have been Shaq, Steve Nash. You know what I'm saying? That would have been them, right?
Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade.
Exactly. Dwayne Wade wins in 06, right? In 07, when Kobe finally gets back to the playoffs, Chris, that was the first year LeBron took. Because remember, Kobe Bryant blew a 3-1 lead in the first round to the Suns in 07. LeBron went to the finals in 07. So if you really want to look at it.
This is what Kobe lovers say, DJ. We're not dissing Kobe. Like I like Fisk, if we talk about quarterbacks, and I say, Brett Favre, I think, is an incredible quarterback. Incredible. Top 10 quarterback, in my opinion. He's not as good as Tom Brady. He's not as good as Peyton Manning.
No, he's not.
It's the same conversation. Kobe Bryant is an incredible basketball player.
Oh, damn, I forgot about Duncan. I was just going to bring up LeBron.
Duncan won 3 MVPs.
Yeah, I forgot about Duncan.
He won
I was talking about LeBron.
3 MVPs. Shaq at some point. Kevin Garnett at one point was the best player on the planet. He won the MVP.
Yeah, because my whole thinking was this, Chris. Remember,
Kobe was the best player on the planet. Maybe you could say maybe 2 years. I remember when I was in school.
What years though?
There used to be, I don't know the individual years, but I remember when I was in school, we used to have debates on who was better, Tracy McGrady or Kobe Bryant. Like it was debatable for a long time. And then McGrady got hurt, but Kobe did not dominate his era the way that LeBron did. Which is why I never put Kobe and LeBron. They're not. LeBron's better. But
that's my issue with Kobe. Like, y'all got to understand, when Kobe was at his absolute apex power was 08, 9, and 10. He went to 3 straight finals, 08, 9, and 10, right? LeBron was winning 67 games with the Cavs and winning MVPs those years. LeBron's first 2 MVPs in Cleveland, Chris, Kobe went to the finals those years. So even when Kobe was going to the finals, LeBron was the best player on the planet winning 2 back-to-back MVPs. So my whole point is just like, you got to look at it like, when was Kobe ever the definitive
DJ is on DJ says Kobe's number 1 to me. DJ, you I ain't gonna get into the debate to you, but he ain't even
God
close.
Bless the dead, but like, yo.
He ain't listen, man. I know, like, maybe some people view that as because he's dead, like I'm being disrespectful. No, I'm not. I love Kobe. He ain't even close to number 1 all time. Not even close.
Not even close. And my whole thing with Kobe is, y'all gotta understand, man. That dude couldn't get out the first round till they got Pau Gasol. My man LeBron out there taking bumps to the finals. Like, Kobe couldn't get out the first round until he got Pau Gasol. He was getting flamed by Steve Nash in the first round for years until Pau came.
Here's what I'll say about Kobe Bryant. He is the closest thing to Michael Jordan I've ever seen in terms of his play style. Closest thing. But he's still not better than LeBron. He's still not better than LeBron. LeBron James, to me, Fisk, is like Magic Johnson and Shaq had a baby and they put it together. He's shorter than Shaq, but he's built like a tank, and he could pass like Magic did.
LeBron is
a freak.
He's a freak. And bro, it's year 19, and he's, in my opinion, he's still the best player on the planet.
But he ain't Jordan.
Year 19.
But he ain't Jordan.
I mean, Jordan, look, if you want to say Jordan's peak is better than LeBron, that's fine, but LeBron is a better player. The only thing Jordan does better than LeBron is shoot free throws. I'll go to my grave saying that. When I worked at the gas station 4 years ago, whatever, right? I used to have this little, because I worked third shift, so I could give away whatever hell I wanted to. I used to offer everybody, you can get a lottery ticket, you can get cigarettes, beer, whatever you want. If you name one thing Jordan did better than LeBron other than shoot free throws. Nobody won the challenge. That's the only thing Jordan did better than LeBron was shoot free throws.
Wait. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest defenders in the history of the
Not
NBA.
better than LeBron.
Michael Jordan is one of the he was all at NBA defense every year.
But Chris, bigger, stronger, faster. LeBron was shutting down dunking in the finals, bro.
Game on the line. We're not talking free throws. Who do you want taking the last shot, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
LeBron James is a better. He has a better field goal percentage in that same exact situation you just laid out. He has a better field goal percentage.
I don't care what the stats say. I'm taking Michael Jordan with the game on the line over LeBron James every time.
I don't know, bro. Go ask some people in Chicago. Go ask some people in Orlando. Go ask some people in Toronto. LeBron got some mean ass game winners, bro.
I got nothing but I think LeBron James is the second greatest player ever, and I think it's this. I don't think him and Kobe are close, but he ain't Jordan. Jordan's one for me. Jordan's one.
It's because you old, Chris. Shout out to Black Scorpion. That's your generation. I'm not gonna knock
Michael Jordan dominated his era so much that he got bored.
Bullshit.
He dominated.
Bullshit. Listen, NBA championships existed before 1992. Kiss my ass. When the Celtics and Pistons was in their prime, he was going home in the first round. Not trying to hear that shit. If Jordan was drafted in like 1979 instead of 84, his ass never wins a ring. He's not getting by Jordan. No, I'm sorry. He's not getting by the Pistons.
Once Jordan got help, there was no stopping.
He had Pippen and was still going home.
It took him a few years, but
whooping his ass.
I'm telling you right now, I watched Jordan play. I watched LeBron play. Jordan's better than LeBron. I'm telling you right now, Jordan's better than LeBron.
Look, this is the last thing I'm saying on this because y'all got to forgive Chris. He old. So
no, I'm not old. LeBron James
old man talk.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Hold on.
LeBron James had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Like the other championships, I'll give you. Like he lost to the super team with the Warriors.
Here we go.
He lost to the Dallas Mavericks with Jason Terry and Jason Kidd in a wheelchair.
So check this out.
With Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Michael Jordan would have steamrolled that team.
Hey, Chris, you know, you walked into my trap.
It's not a trap.
You walked into my trap. You know how old LeBron was when he lost in 2011? You know how old he was? 26.
Okay.
You know how old Jordan was? You know what Jordan was doing at 26? Getting bounced in the first fucking round, Chris.
Oh,
so
God.
My guy loses in the finals at 26. Your guy's getting bounced because Jordan didn't win his first title to what? 27, 28? Jordan was old when he won that first title because he had like a whole 8-year stretch where he couldn't get out the first round. My guy LeBron is 21 years old in the finals against the Spurs, okay? This is not a debate. This is a fact. This is a black and white signature fact. LeBron is a better player than Jordan. This is not debatable. It's not. You can watch a 20-hour Jordan documentary. LeBron James is better, period. He's bigger, stronger, faster. He's a better passer. He's a more efficient scorer. He's a better leader. He's better. Period. He's better. He is going to 3 franchises and 1 championships. 3. The Lakers.
He went to first off, he joined up with his buddies in Miami to win a championship. Then he called up Cleveland after they got Kyrie Irving. And after they had the first overall pick to trade for Kevin Love, he said, "Oh, okay, they're good enough now. I'll go back home and win with them." Okay. Then he started winning with the Lakers after they got Anthony Davis. Let's not act like LeBron James put these teams on his back.
Whoa, what? Wait a minute, Chris. Wash your mouth out with soap. How many times did Kevin Love go to the playoffs in Minnesota, Chris?
Kevin Love had LeBron James and Kyrie Irving.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Answer the question.
As the number 1 option, he ain't winning. As the number 3 option, he's damn good.
When Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were the best player on their teams, how many times did they go to the playoffs? I will wait. How many times, Chris?
What's the question? Probably
0. Zero.
Okay.
Kevin Love never made the playoffs in Minnesota.
Dennis Rodman was never winning championships before he got to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he won 2 with
Well, he
Detroit.
won with the Pistons early on, but
the
yeah.
point I'm trying to make is this, Chris. You just said
I was thinking with the Spurs. He won with the Pistons.
He took 2 losers, Chris. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were losers before they got with LeBron. Period.
LeBron's incredible, but let's not act like he had no talent.
Yeah, but he didn't. In 2018, there was no talent. In 2007, there was no talent. In 2015, there was no talent.
I think LeBron's, in my opinion, LeBron's best achievement was the 2017.
Bro, Jordan's not getting out the first round with Jeff Green and Tristan Thompson as his second and third. Bro, please. Jordan and Dellavedova go to the finals? Please.
Stop disrespecting Michael Jordan.
I'm not disrespecting Jordan. I'm keeping it. I'm just saying facts. LeBron is bigger, stronger, faster, and does more. Period.
He ain't Jordan. This is like, I get it. Like the younger generation wants to say they had their Jordan. He's not Michael Jordan.
Jordan is no better, bro. Y'all gotta understand.
He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Michael Jordan.
Younger audience, let me explain to you why Chris's generation looks up to Jordan so much. When they were in their teens and their 20s, Jordan was the first of his kind. He was the only one. You see, the reason why we don't respect Jordan like that is because guess what? There's Harden, there's Russ, there's Curry.
This is the silliest argument. This is the silliest argument to me.
No, but it's true.
You act like there weren't Hardens and Currys when Jordan played.
Where were they?
Karl Malone.
It was Jordan.
Karl Malone.
No. Karl Malone don't count. I'm talking other guards that can put a 30 on a regular basis.
It was a different era, but there were incredible Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Reggie Miller. There were so many great players.
No, but they weren't Jordan. The point I'm trying to make to you is this, Chris. If you put Jordan on the Chicago Bulls right now, he's not that fucking special. I'm sorry.
Yes,
you know why? Because Jordan putting up 35 points in 1992 was amazing. Jordan putting up 35 points in 2020.
You're right. In this area, he put up
not amazing.
You're right.
It's regular shit.
In this area, he put up 42. Because in this area, they call a foul when you sneeze. And Michael Jordan, who's the hardest worker in the history of the NBA, in this era, you're telling me he wouldn't have refined his game to be able to hit more three-pointers?
The three-point line existed in the 80s and 90s.
But back then, it wasn't. People weren't shooting threes at the clip they are now.
Chris.
In today's NBA, as hard of a worker as Michael Jordan is, you're telling me he's going to be a 33% three-point shooter? You're out of your mind if you think that.
Chris, all I'm saying is this.
To fit the modern league, and he'd be shooting 39-40%. He'd be scoring 42 points a game.
Let me explain something to you, Chris. I'm in the sticks right now. I grew up in a small city. When I went to school, there was always like that one beautiful Spanish girl or light-skinned black girl, whatever, and she was the shit because she's a big fish in a small pond. Now, when I moved back to Miami for college, I saw a million versions of that girl who I thought was the most beautiful woman on the planet in small little North Carolina. Translation, if you put Michael Jordan in the era with LeBron, Giannis, KD, Curry shooting 10 threes a night, Harden and Westbrook.
The game's just played differently, but there were still incredible players in both eras.
Not like this. There's more competition in today's era than there's ever been at any point in the league. Jordan would not look as special in 2021 as he does in the 90s. Curry.
Steph Curry would. You want to talk about a guy? James Harden and Steph Curry would not look the same way they do now in the 90s.
No, I agree, but no, Curry would have been fine because
Curry is not looking the same in the 90s as he is now.
If Ray Allen and Reggie Miller got their shit off, Curry would get his shit
Ray
off.
Allen 6'7".
Okay, you got me on that one. Harden would be fucked because Harden can barely score now because they stopped calling his being fat. Harden would be in trouble. But the point I'm trying to make, Chris, is the reason Jordan looks so special to y'all is because he was one of a kind in his day. In today's generation, when you got a 7-footer in Kevin Durant, and then you got dudes like Curry and LeBron and Giannis Antetokounmpo doing what he doing. You got a 7-footer in Jokic who's damn near averaging a triple-double. There's so much other shit going on in basketball that Jordan dropping 35 points, it just don't mean shit. That's all I'm trying to explain to you.
I'm taking Jordan every time.
Oh my gosh, you old people get on my damn nerves. And all you people
we're 4 years apart. We're 4 years apart.
Check this out. All you people in the chat, shut up. Because y'all not as old as me and Chris. I know my demographics. Most y'all like in your early 20s. Shut up. Y'all barely allowed to remember Kobe. Shut up. Y'all can't have these talks. You can't. Chris and I could talk about this because we were outside when Jordan was hitting the damn shots. Okay? Y'all weren't outside. Okay? Y'all grow up in the league. Y'all growing up in a generation with the NBA ticket, and you can watch Curry anytime you want to. In the 90s, when you see Jordan once a week on TNT and he dropped 35 points, that's all the exposure of good basketball you get. Because other than that, you're watching the Knicks just elbow and fucking punch people, and Patrick Ewing put up 20 and 10. That's not impressive. So, of course, Jordan, the one time a week you see him, is like Jesus in tennis shoes. But if you got a chance to see, I don't know, other competent basketball besides that bullshit the Knicks is putting out, Jordan wouldn't have been so special. That's all I'm saying.
Jordan was special.
Oh my God.
Jordan was special. You could say it however you want. Jordan's special.
Yo, this dude LeBron is bigger, stronger, faster, bro. LeBron's like 6'9", built like Malone, passes like freaking Magic. He defends all 5 positions on the court. Like, stop. This.
Magic Johnson defended all 5 positions. Magic Johnson could defend all 5 positions on the court. He wasn't as good as Jordan.
But he ain't played D, though. Like, Magic could, but he didn't play D. This dude, LeBron, was locking up the Tony Parkers, the Duncans, locking up Derrick Rose, head-to-head with KD in the finals. Put that shit to shame. Stop. Like, LeBron is different, bro. Like, it annoys me when people say Jordan is better than LeBron. It annoys me.
I don't know how that can annoy you. Like, that is it's Michael friggin' Jordan.
Bro, yeah, yo, I just watched a 10-hour documentary where they tried to tell me this man was God in tennis shoes. The love affair with Jordan is ridiculous. Tom Brady doesn't get slurped as much as Jordan, bro. Like, the love affair with Jordan is ridiculous. Y'all gotta let that go. Y'all gotta let it go. The 90s is over, Chris. It's 2021. The 90s is over, Chris. Let it go.
Jordan dominated more than LeBron did. Jordan's
better. LeBron been to 11 finals.
And how many did he win?
4. No, he's 4 and 6. He's been to 10 finals.
Yeah, and he played in a weak Eastern Conference for years.
He made it look weak.
What?
He made that shit look weak.
No, it was weak.
LeBron made the West look weak a year ago, too.
And early on in LeBron's career, he was in a weak Eastern Conference.
LeBron makes these dudes look weak, man. They're not weak. LeBron makes them look weak, okay? Like, stop it. This guy LeBron has won with Dwayne Wade. He's won with Kyrie. And then he took a big man, Anthony Davis, and won with him, too.
And Anthony Davis played better than LeBron, by the way, in that finals.
Bullshit, Chris. Like, without LeBron... Like, these guys play good because LeBron is there. LeBron is like his aura, his presence, the air y'all share together makes you better. All right, well, LeBron James is here, just smelling that man cologne make you want to drop 30, okay? LeBron walk in the room and it's just you just lit. Instant energy. All right, it's just
it ain't close. It's Jordan, but we're done with the conversation. It's Jordan 1, it's done.
Old people get on my nerves. Shout out to Black Scorpion. Do you think the Giants trade for Michael Thomas? And if so, what pick? No. We're already paying. Yeah, actually, yeah. If they want Kenny Galladay, yeah, sure. You can have Kenny Galladay right now for Michael Thomas. Fair deal.
That's not gonna happen. Giants are not gonna trade for a wide receiver.
I agree, but I'm trying to give it to Kenny Galladay. Listen, it got so bad. I said, "Hey, yo, Detroit, if we gave you a 4th round pick, would you take the contract?" I'm dead serious. I want Galladay going.
I would trade Gall if I don't gotta pay Galladay at all. Trade him for a bag of Skittles.
Facts.
He's not worth $22 whatever $million a year right now. I'd trade him for whatever. Get him off the team if you don't have to pay him.
Oh my gosh, it's not even a talent thing. You just can't breathe around that dude. If you tap him on the shoulder, he might strain it. Like,
and I think Galladay's good, but at this point, he ain't worth what we're paying him.
If you told me he was gonna, it's a health thing with him. He's too brittle. He's a brittle bone dude, bro.
Yeah.
Like Chris, he got hurt off screen versus the Cowboys. Let that sink in, Chris. I compared him to a character that got killed off screen, bro. Like, remember when we came back out of halftime, Chris? Oh, you know what, Chris? Because you do the play-by-play, so you don't have the volume on.
Yeah.
But I'm watching the actual broadcast. When Troy Aikman said that Kenny Galladay hurt his knee, I was like, what the hell you mean Kenny Galladay hurt his knee? They was like, well, unfortunately, Kenny Galladay's out with the Giants right now because he hurt his knee in the second quarter. I said, when?
Kenny Galladay, I'm a big Nick fan. Kenny Galladay is equivalent to the Amari Stoudemire signing. But the second we signed Amari, you knew as a Knicks fan, you're like, we need to do this, but it's probably not going to work because he's got the bad knees and blah, blah, blah. And it was the same thing with Galladay. The second we signed Galladay, you're like, yeah, we need to evaluate Jones. He needs a number one wide receiver. It gives us more freedom in the draft. But in the back of your head, you're like, there's probably a good chance he's not going to remain healthy throughout this contract.
That dude got a rib injury after making a good catch. I'm done. That he got touched in the ribs after making a catch, and Kenny Galladay, don't ruin my night. I hate talking about Kenny Galladay. Shout out to Corey Harris. If that's the case, Curry is my GOAT. I witnessed him. I can accept that from you. Well, no, I can't because LeBron been better than Curry.
Yeah, I was going to say he witnessed LeBron too.
Yeah, but he's a Warrior fan now, so it's like
Curry not better than LeBron.
Yeah, Corey is a Warrior. He lives in LA. He's a Warrior fan who roots for the Eagles and hates Kobe. He makes no sense. He lives in LA. He roots for the Eagles. Roots for the Warriors and despises Kobe Bryant, but lives in LA though.
I'm surprised they haven't kicked him out of LA. How could you live in LA and hate Kobe Bryant? Like, I feel like that's like
I don't know, Chris. I've been wondering this for like 2 years. Corey been rocking me for at least 2. I've been wondering this for like 2 years. I don't know.
But man. Listen, man, I love Steph Curry's probably my favorite player in the league right now. Like, he's so easy to root for, but he ain't LeBron. He ain't a two-way player like LeBron is. So no, you got to put LeBron over Curry.
Giannis is my guy. If y'all made me all right, Chris, if you said you can't say LeBron is the best player on the planet anymore, I'm going straight to Giannis. Like, Giannis is like...
I don't think LeBron... I mean, I still think LeBron's in the discussion, but I don't think he's the best player anymore.
I just feel like Giannis has all the intangibles that I wish Anthony Davis had. Like, Giannis intangibles, man. That guy just works his ass off. He goes on that court.
I love Giannis.
I love Giannis.
Giannis is... I was so happy when he won last year. I love Giannis.
If I can't call LeBron the best player on the planet, I'm giving it to Giannis. Like, that's my guy, man.
Giannis, I mean, the guys in the discussion are Giannis, Durant, LeBron, Curry. Curry's going to win the MVP this year.
Chris, I forget. Yeah, speaking of Curry. So, okay, Chris, because you're a Knicks fan. So check this out. How does that that Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier thing working?
Horrible.
You know, because y'all was, Knicks fans was happy. Horrible. I tried to do Knicks fans because I have a Giants channel. It ain't work for me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't work for me.
Fournier's got Tim Hardaway Jr. written all over him. Bad contract. Not working. And Kemba Walker is what he is. He was kind of like a one-year flyer, so it's not going to like set the organization back, but yeah, he ain't working at all. I do think he should be getting minutes at this point. I don't know why he's not, but he's not good.
I'm going to read this super chat, and I got a hot take for you. Shout out to Corey Harris. Kobe isn't top 10. Oh, my gosh, bro.
Let me hear his top 10.
1 is Jordan.
Fair.
2 is LeBron.
Fair.
3 is Kareem.
Fair.
4 is Wilt.
Fair.
No, it's not. 5 is Magic.
I think it's fair to have Wilt. I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but you could at least understand it.
5 is Magic.
Fair.
6 is Bird.
Fair.
7 is Duncan. Wilt is big with Duncan.
You got to have, in my opinion, I'm reading his list. You got to have Russell higher.
Russell is 8.
Got to have higher.
Shaq is 9. You know what the problem with this list is, Corey? You know what the problem with your list is, Corey? I banned your little 22-year-old ass from talking about players you did not see play. You can't have half these players in your list because you didn't watch them play. All right, I'm sorry. I'm tired of people who did not watch people play put these players in their list. You should not have Jordan on your list. I didn't even see Kareem play, so your ass didn't. Will Chris old ass?
If you're just going by players we've seen play, the only players that can play on that list are Jordan. I don't really count Magic. I saw him when I was like 7. I don't count Bird. I saw Duncan, Shaq, Jordan, Hakeem, and Kobe. Those are the only 5 players I saw on that list.
Thank you. Because I know for a fact he ain't watched no damn Oscar. Bro, Oscar Robertson, you could barely find YouTube clips of Oscar Robertson. How you going to say he better than freaking Kobe? Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, but when I ask you who's the greatest baseball player ever lived, you're usually going to say Babe Ruth or Willie Mays.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The greatest baseball player that ever lived, in my opinion, was Miguel Cabrera. That's the best player.
Cabrera.
He's the best player I ever saw.
Miguel Cabrera is a great hitter.
He's
not better than Mike Trout.
What? Get the fuck out of here. What? Triple Crown Miguel Cabrera in his prime. The Triple Crown winner.
Wait. Mike Trout, for 8 straight years, I think it was, came in second or higher for the MVP.
Yeah, on losing teams. That's what annoyed me. On losing teams. How much of that equated to winning, Chris?
But it's a team game.
How many playoff spots is
how many? And by the way, Mike Trout's nowhere near the greatest player ever, but he's better than Miguel Cabrera. Ken Griffey Jr. before he got hurt was better than Miguel Cabrera.
No. Hold on.
Albert Pujols better than Miguel Cabrera.
Hold on. Let me phrase something. Let me say this for the record.
Barry Bonds better than Miguel Cabrera.
I'm a diehard Yankee fan. In my heart of hearts, I was gonna say Derek Jeter, but I didn't want to be biased. The best player, in my humble opinion, that I've seen, because I'm just saying, like, I watched Miguel Cabrera win that Triple Crown. I watched Miguel Cabrera lead the league in bat. I'm just saying, Miguel Cabrera was on demon time.
He's an incredible hitter.
But the best player I've seen, if we're not gonna go hitters, in my humble opinion, all right, and this one I'm gonna stand by. It's hands down Kershaw. Kershaw's the dominant player.
Okay. Clayton Kershaw. I mean, Jacob DeGrom is just as dominant as Kershaw ever was.
No, it's not.
But you've seen the years Jake's put up.
I've seen the years Jacob DeGrom had, but I'm talking about like Kershaw was.
Here's my issue with Kershaw. Kershaw is incredible. Here's my issue with Kershaw. In the playoffs, he's nowhere to be found. Come playoff time, you don't see the same Kershaw.
I agree, but
and I feel like in baseball, people overlook that. People like Kurt Schilling was a huge big game pitcher, but they don't give those guys as much credit. So Kershaw didn't get it. He wasn't the same player when it mattered most.
Okay, here's the deal, Chris. If you said that about a quarterback or a star NBA player, I would agree with you. The problem is baseball is 162 games.
But then, wait. Then why are we bashing Trout then? If we're not going to take postseason into account, because Mike Trout, by the numbers,
but Kershaw got there though. I'm talking about dominance. I'm talking about
that's not Mike Trout. He's on a trash team.
I'm talking about.
It's not like Here's what I'm going to say. Does an individual in baseball have near the impact as an individual in basketball?
The pitcher, yes.
They only play once every 5 days.
Once every 3 or 4 in the playoffs, yeah. But that one start though, they literally control your fate.
Has he or has he not been the best pitcher of baseball over the last 4 years?
I'm not sure he's been better than Max. The last 4 years.
All right,
the last 2. Last 2, fine.
How many times has he made the playoffs?
I get that, but what's his win percentage?
The year he had his best year, he was like 11-10.
I rest my case. That's that Felix Hernandez shit. At the end of the day, if your pitcher is that damn good, close the deal. Win that shit 1-0. I'm sorry. That's that Felix Hernandez bullshit right there. Oh yeah, we're gonna give Felix Hernandez the Cy Young with a losing record. Nah, we can't do that.
And by the way, I see Nicholas Bell say Pedro Martinez is the greatest. They'll blank you talking about. Here's what I'll say about Pedro Martinez. What was it, 2000? It might have been 2000. I'm going to look up his stats right now. Pedro Martinez, in my opinion, when you factor everything into account, has the greatest single season in the history of baseball. It might have been 98. Let me look at the stats. Yeah, 2000. Okay, Fisk, 2000. This is when steroids are running rampant, right? When you got McGuire hitting 70 home runs, you got Sosa hitting 66. Everybody's breaking records, right? He pitches in a pitcher's ballpark with the Green Monster in Boston, and he's in the American League with a designated hitter. Pedro Martinez pitched to a 1.74 ERA that year with a 0.73 whip. That is the greatest individual season in baseball history by a pitcher. I'll give him that.
That's some good shit. I agree. But all I'm saying is, like, I know a lot of people in the chat. All I'm saying is, like, when it comes down to it, I'm a Yankee fan. I try to take my Jeter biases out of these things, okay? Because in my humble opinion, the best player I ever watched play was Jeter. But I'm taking my Yankee bias out of the situation. Kershaw was the most dominant player I've ever seen pitch in baseball. Me personally. He just he had like a 10-year stretch, Kershaw, where he was just dominant. A bad game for Kershaw was like 2 runs in 7 innings. That's a bad game. Like, Kershaw was dominant. He was pure dominant.
Best pitchers I've ever seen: Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, Clemens, but steroid induced. And I think Pedro. But Kershaw's in the top 6 or 7.
I'm gonna say Kershaw, Scherzer.
I think DeGrom's starting into that combo.
Prime Matt Harvey.
Harvey was only a year, though. A year and a half.
Prime Matt Harvey. Yeah, that 2-year stretch. Well, he had a good year. Well, but when y'all went to the World Series.
2013 was his best year, but he got hurt mid-season. And then he was good. He was really good in 2015. But DeGrom,
I'm about to say, that World Series.
DeGrom is way over Harvey.
Justin Verlander.
Verlander's great.
My guy Jose Fernandez. God bless the dead.
He's good, very good.
How
about Roy Halladay? God bless the dead.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't start watching. Here's the thing. All right, I got to confess something. Until I was about 21 years old and started sports betting, all I watched was the Yankees. I didn't start watching every baseball team until I started sports betting at 21. That's why you get answers like Kershaw and Cabrera from me, because until I turned 21, all I watched was Yankee games. I didn't watch all the other teams that I didn't give a shit. But once I started betting on them, and I started watching everything and playing the daily fantasy and shit and had a little bit more vested interest in it, that's when I started paying attention to more players. So once I started paying attention to more players back in like 2010, 2011, that's when I started watching Kershaw and Verlander. Miguel Cabrera was going on a freaking tear. Cole Hamels was still at the height of his powers. So that's when I started really paying attention to teams not wearing pinstripes. So, that's my take on it. So I've only really paid attention to teams not named the Yankees for about a decade.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's keep it in 100 with you. So, there's one pitcher I keep forgetting, and I wanted to bring him up because I don't think he gets enough credit, but he's pretty damn good. Jesus, the one who buried the anti-Kershaw, the insane division. What the fuck is his name?
He plays right now?
Yes.
He doesn't play right now. You talking about Lincecum?
No. Same team. Bumgarner. Yes, same team.
Oh, Madison Bumgarner. Yeah, Mad Bum.
Yeah. Mad Bum. What he did in that World Series was freaking all-time great.
He was a great big game pitcher. He's as good as they come.
Yeah, big game pitcher. I appreciate Felix Hernandez a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that Felix Hernandez has always lost games, but I watched that perfect game he pitched. I watched that live. I had money on that. Shout out to Felix Hernandez. But for the most part, man, when it comes to baseball, it's a funny sport because it it
I'm gonna throw another name out there. I gotta show some love to my Mets, even though his best years were before the Mets. Johan Santana. Johan
I did.
Santana was
I
great.
saw it. I don't know if it was a perfect game or a
He threw a
complete
no-hitter
game.
with the Mets. The only no-hitter in Mets history.
Yeah, and then he was ass after that.
Yeah,
It's
his
like he
arm
had
went
the
to
no
shit,
hitter
but
and he just
his
yeah.
best years were before the Mets with the Twins. He won like back-to-back Cy Young awards.
Yeah, and then I mean, like I said, baseball. I mean, my guy, not Scherzer. What's his name? The other guy in Washington, Strasburg. Strasburg had a couple good starts. I'm glad he won. He finally got it together. I always felt like Strasburg needed everything to be perfect to be good. He was just a head case, but he finally got it together. I mean, look, baseball. When you watch 162 games and you're paying attention to these teams, all this shit blends together. But take it for somebody who puts his hard-earned cash behind these mother effing teams. Miguel Cabrera was different.
Miguel
Okay,
Cabrera was great.
he was
Last guy
different.
that won the Cy Young before him was Yastrzemski in like the '60s or whatever.
He won the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
Put some respect on it. And there was people out there who wanted to tell me rookie Mike Trout should have won MVP over the Triple Crown guy. That's unacceptable.
I see. Maybe I'm wrong on this, Nicholas. He seems to be a big baseball fan. He says Steven Strasburg was the best pitcher in his debut, 14 Ks. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I thought that Kerry Wood, maybe it wasn't his debut game. Maybe it was like his third start. I thought Kerry Wood had 20 Ks in his debut start with the Cubs, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe you could stat check me on that.
Shout out to Corey. He says LeBron took two trash teams to the finals, 07 and 08. Don't forget 2015 because Kevin Love and Kyrie were hurt. Don't forget about 2015. All right.
Yeah,
LeBron
look, listen,
James.
LeBron. Yeah, I said I think 07 is his biggest accomplishment. That team, his second best player was Mo Williams or Anderson Varejao, or like he had no talent on that team. So I always was blown away that
Nah,
he.
that was before Mo Williams. The 07 team was way worse. Mo Williams would have been an upgrade on that 07. The 07
That was
team
the
was the
one with
one with
what's his name? Drew
Booby
Gooden was.
Gibson. And it was Booby Gibson, Daniel Marshall,
Drew Gooden was on that
Anderson.
team, right? Drew Gooden,
Gooden was on there.
Varejao.
Varejao, Ilgauskas, Larry Hughes. And yeah, that was the team with Larry Hughes, Booby Gibson, Ilgauskas, Gooden. Team was trash. It didn't even have Mo Williams yet. The team was trash. That 07 Cavs team was horrible. Shout out to Donnie. Top five most dominant athletes go.
Ever or now? Like that's. Oh, well, we'll say in our lifetime. We'll say in our
Yeah,
lifetime.
I'm gonna go. This is easy for me. This is easy. Floyd Mayweather, Manning, Peyton, of course, Brady, Kershaw, and I will probably have to say, damn, I can't think of a fifth.
All right. So far you said Mayweather, you said Peyton Manning, you said Tom Brady, you said
And
Kershaw.
Kershaw, I can't think of a fifth.
You got to have LeBron on there if you think he's the
No,
greatest
that
basketball.
was LeBron. I said
What?
LeBron. LeBron was the first name of the person I said.
I thought you said Mayweather.
Oh, okay. So LeBron was my fifth. Okay, so yeah, it's LeBron. It's LeBron, Mayweather, Kershaw, Manning, and Brady. That's my five.
I'm gonna have a completely different list than you.
Oh wow.
Because I'm okay. I gotta have Gretzky on there, and I'm not a hockey fan at all. But what Wayne Gretzky did in the NHL, it's like nobody's even close. Like I think I looked up the stat the other day. There's only 5 players that have ever scored over 200 points in a season, and he did it 4 out of the 5 times. Like Wayne Gretzky dominated at another level. So Gretzky's on there for me. Jordan's on there for me. Phelps, are we counting like Olympians or just like the major sports?
Well, I don't watch the Olympics, so
All right. We'll stick to like the major sports because I could say Serena, I could say Tiger Woods, but we'll stick to the major sports. We'll stick to the 4 major sports: Gretzky, Jordan. I'll probably have LeBron on there because basketball is such an individual sport. So I'll probably have LeBron on there. Gretzky, Jordan, LeBron, Pedro, because a pitcher is so important in baseball, and he was so dominant. And I'll say, I don't want to say a quarterback because they don't. Oh,
Listen, I watched Tom Brady
it's
go to.
such a team sport. It's
I
such a
watched
team.
Tom Brady go to Tampa and get a ring. Stop.
No, he's incredible.
Stop.
He's incredible, but it's such a team sport.
Yeah, but Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are the only ones that dominated. Like Manning and Brady were like,
I'll say Brady. I'll say Brady. I'll say Brady, LeBron, Jordan, Gretzky. Now, if you're going to include boxing, I'd say Mayweather like you rather than Brady. But if I'm only going 4 major sports, I'd have Brady on there. And
I mean,
Pedro.
all right, because here's how I look at it, right? When it comes to Manning and Brady, Aaron Rodgers is great. He's just now winning 13 games a year. Manning and Brady do that all the time. Like I just feel like people don't understand how dominant Peyton Manning really was. It gets taken for granted because he's been retired for so long. But those Colts teams were winning 13, 14, 15 games a year. Tom Brady under Bill Belichick, Chris, they were the number one seed like
Yeah,
12 out of
I
the.
always looked at it like that it was a team though. Like Belichick had a lot to do with it. Brady had a lot to do. Like when I think of like individual dominance. I mean, if we're including all the sports, Tiger Woods has to be on there in my lifetime. Serena has to be on there. Phelps is on there. Jordan is still be on there. And maybe LeBron. That
See,
probably
I
be on
just don't watch. See, I put boxing because I watch boxing. See, I don't watch
I
tennis
never
or
I was
golf.
that Mayweather's obviously so dominant. I just was that I just don't like Mayweather, but he was incredible.
Yeah, because I'm like, guy never lost. He was unhittable. Like he's unhittable. I mean, I know everybody likes to bring up like Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali and shit. I'm like, bro, they lost. This guy never
I didn't get to
lost.
see Lawrence Taylor, Nicholas Bell, so that's why I didn't say him. I didn't really start watching the Giants till like 95. So that's why I don't count him.
And I ain't start watching the Giants till well, I remember the 2000 team and shit, but like I didn't start caring until my high school year, which was the Eli Manning draft. I was a freshman in high school when Eli Manning's rookie year, so that was like the first time I was like, "This is I'm living and dying with this shit." You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna like go watch football with my dad and say, "Okay, can we turn on Sunday Night Heat now? Can we watch WWE?" Like, as a kid, you don't care, but like once high school came along, I'm like, oh my fucking gosh, why do I care so much? It's like once I was like hit puberty and I was just like old enough to like really like care about this, I'm like, damn, I care about this shit too much. But nah, I
If
mean,
watching old film counts, I mean, yeah, LT probably on my list, but he changed the game of football. But we said it was, people we actually got to watch.
yeah, because it's just like I hate when people talk about players that never saw play. I'm like, yo, how you gonna sit here and have an educated conversation about something you didn't see? Music is different because you listen to music. We could listen to some music from like the
Whatever.
50s.
Frank Sinatra, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. You can experience music. You can experience that anytime because you listen to it. Sports is something you got to like really experience and like be in the day to day and like watch it. You gotta be outside, Chris. Like if you wasn't outside when Jordan was hitting the shots, you don't understand it.
Okay,
You don't get it.
Somebody said Troy Aikman. In my opinion, Fisk, Troy Aikman is the most overrated quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Agreed.
And I don't know how many Cowboys fans you got in here. I'm being honest. Troy Aikman had one season. Go back and look at the numbers where he had over 20 touchdowns. Troy Aikman had the greatest offensive line in the history of the NFL. He had Emmitt Smith, he had Michael Irvin, and he had an all-world defense.
Agreed.
Troy Aikman was great. He won 3 Super Bowls. But no, he was far from dominant.
Yeah, and somebody tell Troy Aikman to do his job and stop being so damn cowboy centric. This dude Troy Aikman be like everything. He be calling games that got nothing to do with the Cowboys, and he find ways to talk about them dudes. Like, hey, like Troy, like relax, we get it, we get it, Troy. You won 3 Super Bowls at the Cowboys, but damn, bro, not every conversation goes back to Dallas. Like he the reason you mute TVs, bro. Like Troy, he's the reason,
He's the reason why people listen to me on YouTube.
basically. And like Troy Aikman just like shut up, bro. Like he was the one comparing that Deion Sanders shit. Oh my goodness. Diggs reminds me of Deion Sanders.
You didn't get to watch. Let me ask you. You didn't get to watch Deion, right?
Honestly,
if you didn't start watching until 2000, right?
Well, you know what? Deion is like. You know what? You're right. Because most of the Deion I remember was that old ass dude with the Ravens. So yeah, I really didn't get a chance to like appreciate Deion. Yeah.
Who's the most dominant defensive player you ever saw in your lifetime?
Most dominant defensive player?
Dominant.
Oh, hands down.
In your life, all right, you're 2000 on. For me, it's probably one of 2 players, maybe 3. I'm going to guess that you're going to say either Ray Lewis, Aaron Donald, or Darrelle Revis.
It's Darrelle Revis, and it's not close. Darrelle
Revis is incredible. Darrelle Revis locked down the whole half of the field. People forget about it, but Darrelle Revis at his best might have been better than Deion Sanders.
Okay.
Just didn't do it for as long.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna engage in this conversation because I didn't study Deion Sanders. I was young. I really wasn't outside when Deion was doing his thing. But if the rumors are true that he was an off-coverage zone corner that didn't like the tackle,
Deion's ridiculous.
All I'm saying is, if he really was a zone corner who didn't like the tackle, I'm just gonna say I'd rather have Revis. Give me the man corner. That's all I'm saying. I would prefer the lockdown man corner over the zone corner. That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna sit here and go into a debate about Deion Sanders and Revis because I'm not old enough to really appreciate Deion Sanders like that. All I'm saying is I know my football, and if you're gonna give me a choice between, here we go, all right, Sherman. If you're gonna say Fitz, you got prime Sherman or prime Revis, give me prime Revis.
Oh, it's not close.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But Sherman might be the greatest zone corner that I ever seen.
Yeah, but Revis at his best was much better.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Or, who's another example? Talib was a great man corner too. I mean, but like
JJ Watt was damn good for a while too.
JJ Watt was dominant. He would have been my second choice.
He's damn
JJ
good.
Watt would have been
Ray Lewis got to be up there for you somewhere.
But I don't consider Ray Lewis dominant. Like the middle linebacker position, what I mean by like when we say dominant, like
take over a game.
Yeah, those middle linebackers, they more so like the Keekleys, the Ray Lewises. Like I look at them as like chess players. They're more so controlling everything. Like they're the ones matching wits with the quarterbacks. Like they're like those middle linebackers. Yeah, they make plays. They make a lot of tackles, but they're not like, oh shit, this dude JJ Watt just got another sack. It's a fumble. He tipped it. He's running for 6. He's hitting the quarterback every play. You know what I'm saying? It's like Lawrence Taylor could hit your quarterback every single play and just dominate the game. He didn't have to get a sack. I didn't say sack. I just said hit the quarterback.
Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player of all time.
Yeah, I just think that like an edge rusher or a cornerback, that cornerback could take a receiver out the game. That edge rusher could screw your quarterback over. I just think a middle linebacker can be an impact player, but when I think a dominant guy, just because you get 20 tackles in a game. All right, here's what I'm trying to say, Chris. If Ray Lewis and LT are on the same team, right, at the same time, Ray Lewis can get 20 tackles, but Lawrence Taylor can hit the quarterback 5 times, and Lawrence Taylor was the more dominant player. Because those 5 times
makes more impactful plays.
Yes, those 5 times could have been third downs, could have been important. just because you make 20 tackles don't necessarily make you dominant. And that's not the shit on the Singletaries and the Ray Lewises. I'm not trying to shit on the middle linebacker position because I think it might be the most important position on the defense.
They're
Because
the mic. They're the cat. Yeah, they're the quarterback of the defense.
So I'm not taking nothing from it. Like if you said who would you rather have, the best edge rusher or the best inside backer, I might take that inside backer.
Oh, I think I go edge.
Because the inside backer could cover the tight end. He could shut down the run. He does more shit. But the edge rusher is more important. There's a difference. There's a difference between being more important. I'm sorry. There's a difference between being more impactful and more important. I think the middle linebacker is more important, but that edge rusher is more impactful. He's more impactful. But, bro, that middle linebacker is going to shut down tight ends. He's going to help guard slot receivers. He's going to kill running backs.
Well, especially in today's game. Like 20 years ago, they didn't have that much of a responsibility in terms of pass coverage. But in today's game, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got a middle linebacker like somebody who can guard a Kelsey or guard a Waller or a Kittle or something like that, that's a big freaking deal. If you got a middle linebacker like Ryan Shazier before he got hurt could stick with those tight ends and shit like that.
The Steelers they just recycle linebackers. I don't know how they do it.
They're like the Giants. The Giants usually just recycle pass rushers until Gettleman came.
The Steelers always have a good middle linebacker. They're just good at. I mean, they put a premium on that position. They draft them early, but they always have a good middle linebacker.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to tell Giants fans. I'm like, bro, like until Gettleman came here, I've always seen the Giants of the pass rusher, whether it was Strahan, Ozzie, Tuck, JPP. This is the first time as a Giants fan we don't have some dominant edge guy killing the quarterback. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's very weird. So I mean, I don't know. Football's a weird sport. Football's tricky because it's like it's like Ed Reed, the greatest safety of all time, and Ray Lewis, the greatest middle linebacker of all time, played on the team at the same time. But guess who did the most damage? Terrell Suggs and Haloti Ngata asses up front working on the quarterback. So you got the greatest middle linebacker ever, and you got the greatest safety of all time on the same team. But if Terrell Suggs and Haloti Ngata and Bart Scott ain't doing their job up front, do they win games?
It's a team. Oh, it's the same thing with the quarterback. That's why I said I didn't want to put any quarterback on my list of most dominant athletes, because if they don't have the guys blocking, if they don't have the receivers holding onto the football, getting open. So football is such a team-oriented sport that you rely on other people to be successful. So, yeah, but I agree with what you're saying. What I don't agree with is what Brazil is saying in the chat. Dale Earnhardt better than both. Listen, I'm sure there's people in this chat that like NASCAR. I don't know.
I don't know the first thing about NASCAR.
They're driving around in circles for 500 laps.
Basically.
I can't say. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to badmouth the sport, but I don't know. I can't get into NASCAR. I can't put Dale Earnhardt in the same conversation as Michael Jordan.
What? Huh? That was the conversation going on?
Well, I think he's talking about dominant athletes, and he's talking about Dale Earnhardt.
Oh my gosh. Allow me to be disrespectful for a second. I'm sorry. I put drivers in the same category as golfers. You're not a fucking athlete. The most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life was when I think they gave athlete of the decade to Tiger Woods. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Tiger Woods is a pretty good athlete, though.
Really? You swing a golf club. Stop. Like, over Kobe.
He was in good shape, though. He's in good shape.
Nah, I'm not. I'm sorry. I can't go that far. I mean, no.
Yeah,
no.
I have respect for golfers, but obviously they're not of the same athletic ability as a basketball player. But golf's kind of like baseball to me, where it's like it's a mental game. I think golf is kind of like baseball.
Yeah, but at least in baseball, you gotta run the bases.
You gotta
run in the outfield and shit. Like it's athletic. It's athletic activities taking place.
Yeah,
like, you can't compare Tiger Woods to like Leon Messi LeBron James and like
in
fucking
terms
Mike
of an
Trout.
overall
Like,
athlete, I agree with that. Yeah.
and like my thing is this, like when it comes to golf, like I gotta understand, golf might be one of the most hardest games on the planet to play. Golf is hard. I don't know how many of y'all really been on like a golf course and tried to hit a damn ball. Like it's hard. I respect the hell out of golfers. It's just the athletes. You
Yeah.
know, I respect the hell out of golfers. It's hard as hell to hit a damn golf ball, but I don't respect them as athletes. Like, stop it. Like, come on, bro. Like Phil Mickelson out here shitting on people. Like, stop. Like, we're not doing this. We can't have this conversation. Like, you sitting in a car, you driving fast. Like, that's not athletic ability. Like, come on, man. Like, ain't no NASCAR driver gonna say and tell me they're an athlete. Like, stop. What are we doing?
Like I give him credit, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm not putting him in the conversation as in the same conversation as like an all-time great basketball player.
Here's my rules. All right, Chris, you're gonna laugh when I say this, but I stand by this shit. If Dale Earnhardt and Tiger Woods are gonna be classified as athletes, then I'm an athlete too because I play Madden and 2K.
And by the way, some people would classify that as an athlete in today's world.
And
I disagree with it.
them.
But with what do they call it now? Esports, right?
Yeah, esports, yeah. Like, stop it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, stop. Like, no.
But technically, that's a good point you bring. Like,
yeah. You kind of At that point, what are we doing, right, Chris? At that point, what are we doing?
Or a poker player, right? Is a poker player an athlete? No, right?
And what's the difference? And bro, the only difference between a poker player and a driver is the driver got to shift gears. They both sitting on their asses. The hell is the difference? What the hell is the difference? Shout out to Corey Harris. He says Jeff Gordon was literally the GOAT at one point. Jeff Gordon, why that name sound so familiar?
Jeff Gordon's a NASCAR driver.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
But you know, I mean, if we're going by that, Joey Chestnut's the greatest athlete ever.
Who? I was yawning and I was like, wait, what?
Joey Chestnut.
Oh my God.
He's the hot dog eating champion.
And you know, hey bro, you know
Competitive eating.
Competitive eating, he right, yo, bro. They be eating the shit out of them hot dogs. I don't know how they do it. They get the water, they be down in them damn hot dogs. That shit. Now I'll be honest with you, that might be an athletic feat to be able to get on them hot dogs.
I can't eat 70 hot dogs in 15 minutes or whatever it is.
Nah, I can't do that. That's some serious fucking shit right there to be able to stuff that many hot dogs with bread down your throat. Like, stop. Like, and how do you even fit that much room in your stomach any damn way? Like, I'm a big dude, but nah, I don't got that. I don't got no room for that.
Yeah.
I have no room for that. Like, how do you even make room for all that shit? And you drinking the water with it to make sure you can swallow it. I've always been fascinated by the professional eaters because I'm like, not only are you eating a bunch of bullshit, but you drinking a bunch of water to make sure you get it down. So it's like, how? It's like, yo, how? I'm the type of person where I try to drink when I'm done eating because if I drink too much while I'm eating, I get full. Once you put all that water in you, it's like, yo, you get no. See, Chris, you struck a nerve. That shit fascinates me. I'll be watching. I'm like, yo, how the fuck do you do that? Shout out to Corey. POS closet to the football pre-snap.
Positions closest to the football snap
okay.
are the most important. So he means quarterback, center.
Quarterback,
defensive lineman.
So basically the trenches. So basically
the
Chris Hog Molly shit. Yeah,
the Hog Mollies, the trenches.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Corey. I'm with you.
Look, I'm not with y'all, but this Giants line needs to be fixed.
That's where it all starts, man.
Yeah, this giant, because I mean, you know, this giant line just needs to be fixed because obviously we can't be like the Cardinals and the Buffalo Bills and just have regular lines and get shit done. The Giants we need McKenzie, Sneeze, Soybert, and fucking Dave Gill to walk through the door. O'Hara, yeah, we need the whole crew back for us to be successful. Shout out to Corey Harris. Esports are definitely sports. You have to train. Bro, because I play 20 hours a week of Madden, do not make me. No, we're not doing this.
I mean, at this point, are we going to say like day traders are athletes too? Because you got to train for that too.
Facts. Listen, let me tell you something, Chris. And you probably already know this about me. I have been a professional Madden player since I was 17 years old. The only time I've really traveled outside of Miami was to play Madden. I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, been to Philadelphia. I've been to all these states to play Madden. Not one time in my fucking life, and I'm an arrogant, cocky motherfucker. Now, one time in my life, have I ever woke up and said, yeah, I'm the baddest athlete on the planet. I'm about to go press these buttons and throw these touchdowns. I've never, ever picked up Madden and considered myself a bad motherfucker. Ever.
The
And
guys
I look
that
at these
you're
with the
playing with
cocky.
are athletes.
Huh?
The guys on the TV screen are athletes.
Yes, not me. I've never considered myself an athlete because I picked up a controller. I'm sorry.
Fantasy football, are
I'm
you an
sorry.
athlete because you're a professional fantasy football person?
Nah, I'll say this though. I'm GM of the year back-to-back seasons though. I'm out to win the Super Bowl again. You know what I'm saying? Chris got the number 1 seed. Ain't nobody scared of you. Oh, real quick, Chris. True story. So check this out. I actually was gonna tank to be on your side of the bracket, right? Because going into last week, I was on your side of the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. I'm not scared, but Philly Fresh's team, Wakanda forever. Like, bro, Cooper Kupp, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, that shit scares me. I didn't want no problems. And besides, he beat me twice this year, and I beat you twice this year. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I was going to tank so I can get your ass in the second round instead of Wakanda forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was I could have got a first round bye if Boogie had just beat Philly Fresh. So I had to play my starters. So what my plan was, Chris, is I was going to play my 1 o'clock guys. And if Boogie was going to lose, I would bench my 4 p.m. guys and tank the game so I could stay on your side of the bracket. But what happened was my 1 o'clock guys smoked Jagged off so bad that I won at 1 o'clock. I didn't even need Saquon and the crew at 4 o'clock to close the deal. So I ended up winning and putting up a 195. And now I got to play that damn Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson team in the second round instead of playing your damn team. I'm not scared of your team because all you got is Jonathan Taylor. If
my team got completely banged up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Your wide receiving core is
DeAndre Swift is out. Darren Waller's out.
Yes, I wanted Chris. I wanted Entertainah team.
My team is stacked, but I got injuries. Like I'll read you my team right now: Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase. When healthy, Darren Waller is my tight end. DeAndre Swift is my flex, but both of those guys are hurt. So my team was legit. Like I had a great draft, but I've had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, you had the best record in the league. You were 10-4.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Chris, I'm like, yo, like I could smoke Chris in the second round.
I got James Conner too. Good. He's my flex right now.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at my team. I'm like, okay, I got my boy. I got Taysom Hill or Jalen Hurts, whoever I'm feeling at the time. Saquon, Najee Harris, CeeDee Lamb, Hunter Renfrow, Chris Godwin, Alvin Kamara, Amon St. Brown, or I just picked up AJ Green. So I'm like, my team, realistically speaking, was built to beat your team, even if you were healthy, because you had all the running backs. I could match you with the running back position. Nobody else could. But I'm going to be honest with you. I just want to get this, because my thing is if I beat Philly 500, not Philly 5, if I beat Philly Fresh next week, I'm winning the Super Bowl. I'm winning the damn Super Bowl. I'm sorry, Chris, but you not.
No, I'm not gonna. My team's got too many injuries. I'm not gonna win.
Yeah, your team got too many injuries. If I can get past this bullshit, he got like Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. If I could just survive that shit, Chris, I'm going to the top because my team is finally healthy. You know, I lost 2 games this season because I didn't have enough healthy players to play. I literally lost 2 back-to-back weeks because I traded. It got so bad, Chris. I traded Tom Brady for 2 players that were actually healthy. I traded Tom Brady for Chase Claypool and Javonte Williams because I didn't want to take zeros that week. You know what I'm saying? It was that bad. So I'm sitting back like, yo, like, I should have had a bye, but it's cool though. I'm going to beat the hell out of Jon Snow this weekend. and then me and Philly Fresh gonna play for the Super Bowl.
And
No
I'm playing.
disrespect.
I'm playing Philly Fresh. That's who I'm playing.
No, you're gonna play the winner of
Oh, I have a bye.
yeah, you got the bye. So you're gonna play the winner of um Philly Talk podcast and the Rated Redskin guy.
Maybe my team will get healthy. I don't know how long these injuries are, but maybe my team will get healthy.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Darren Waller will be back for the following week.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I might. Dak is playing so bad right now that it's just like, let me look at your team right. When the hell do the Cardinals and the Cowboys play? What week is that?
Next week, I'll tell you my opponents. Dak's against Washington. Zeke, obviously, against Washington. Taylor against Arizona. Beckham, if I'm still starting him, against Minnesota. Jamar Chase versus Baltimore. Jacoby Myers versus Buffalo. But we'll see if he's still in my starting lineup. Maybe, like I said, maybe Lockett's healthy by then. Could be Darren Waller if he's back versus Denver. And James Conner in the flex versus Indy.
See, you get Super Bowl. When I would have to face you would be the Super Bowl. You get Arizona. You get the Arizona Washington. You get the Arizona Cowboy game. That could be a problem. But then again, I don't know because Zeke and Dak are just playing like fucking trash right now. They really are. I'm just like,
I don't know. There's the second year I did your league, and both years, and I hate the Cowboys. I always end up with Cowboys because nobody ever picks them, and I just get value. Like Zeke fell way too far whenever I took him. I'm like, I have to take him, and the same thing happened with Dak. Like there were like 8 quarterbacks drafted before Dak. I'm like, I got to take Dak.
Y'all are laughing at me in the chat right now, but Jalen Hurts has won me a lot of games. Sorry, Jalen Hurts has been great for fantasy. He sucks as a real quarterback, but damn it, if he don't find a way to get 25 points a week, I'll be shocked. He's been great for fantasy. Jalen Hurts. He was the second best quarterback in the league till he got hurt. Fantasy wise.
He's like Tebow was. Remember Tebow's first year? He was good in fantasy. He was horrible on the field.
Yeah, so it's like y'all are like, bro, how could you get rid of Tom Brady? I'm sorry. Tom Brady doesn't get me 75 rushing yards on the ground every week.
Well, Brady's having a good. I mean, he's got 36 touchdowns, but
he does. But it's like,
by the way, that's a good question. Who's your MVP this year?
Aaron Rodgers. It's not close.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's not close.
Most people are giving it to Brady because of the 36 touchdowns. But by the definition of the award, Fisk, Aaron Rodgers has proven he's the most valuable player on his team.
My guy Aaron Rodgers had the most impressive victory of the season. He went into Arizona when it was undefeated, beat them with no weapons.
Without Devontae Adams.
On a short week. There hasn't been a win more impressive than that. He also
and he's missed his Bakatari all year. He hasn't played all year as best lineman. And since the first week when he clearly wasn't himself, he's got 27 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Yep.
And the game that he didn't play, they scored 7 points.
Yeah, they would have beat the hell out the Chiefs if he played.
I think Rodgers should be the MVP. They're not going to give it to him because Brady and because of the COVID and, the stuff off the field. But
oh, yeah, he definitely disqualified himself with the line. He definitely disqualified himself. I mean, me personally, I was going to give it to Derrick Henry till he got hurt.
What about Taylor? What about Jonathan Taylor?
Nah, no, because the difference, like, I get it. Like, Jonathan Taylor's good. But Derrick Henry, it's like
he changes that offense.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's great. Don't get it twisted. But Derrick Henry, really, he just be putting the Titans on his back. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's just different the way Derrick Henry be carrying it. But look, the Brady love is ridiculous, but they're probably gonna give him MVP because he's Brady.
And he's having a really good year. But I'd give it to Rodgers, though. I'm with you. I'd give it to Rodgers. But we've been going a long time, Fisk. I gotta get some.
Oh, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah.
I normally, you can hear me yawning. Like, I gave Chris a whole 90 minutes because I'm normally asleep by 9 o'clock. So
9 o'clock. Damn.
Oh, y'all be knocked the fuck out by 9 o'clock. So they're probably shocked to see me up this late. But yeah, I'm normally asleep by 9 o'clock. But Chris, I wake up at 3 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah, I wake up at 3 in the morning.
then you get a pay. Well, tomorrow you work on Saturday?
I don't work. I mean, I got a couple. I got some business to take care of tomorrow, but I don't work.
You work up at 3? You wake up at 3 just to wake up at 3?
Uh-huh. I'm weird. But then again, I can't sleep though, Chris. Like you gotta
Oh,
understand, like,
you don't have a purpose to wake up at 3, you just do it.
nope, I just do it. Even when I had a normal sleep cycle, I woke up at 4 in the morning. I think the 3 o'clock is a little bit much lately, but I still wake up at 4 in the morning. If I had absolutely nothing to do, I would still wake up at 4 in the morning. I don't sleep. Like I'm a bad sleeper. Like for example, Chris, when we're done, right? I'll probably be asleep by what 11 o'clock. I guarantee you, I wake up between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, and just stare at the sky for 5 minutes and fall back asleep, and
And
then I'll wake back up at 3, and then I'll just probably just stay up. I don't sleep. I can't sleep more than like 3 straight hours for some strange reason. I don't know why, because I don't do shit. So I should be able to go to sleep. But like, nah, I can't. I'm a bad sleeper. I'm just a horrible sleeper.
interesting. Yeah, I can sleep.
Or what you one of those sleep 6, 7, 8 hour people?
6 you had 6 out you act like 6 hours is abnormal. Yeah, no, I sleep about 6.5, 7 hours.
It must be nice. I would love to
I don't know
be
how you
able
get
to
up
do
at
that.
3. The only time I get up at 3 is if I gotta go to the bathroom, that's about it.
But you also have to understand, like, I I was before I started investing and becoming more of a businessman. I did bet sports for a living for like a good 6 or 7 years. That fucked with my sleep cycle. And it's just one of those situations where it's like what I used to do when I was betting for a living is I didn't want to sweat the games. Never wanted to sweat them. So what I would do is used to go to sleep at 7 o'clock when the game started. So I didn't want to watch them. I just wanted to see the end result if I won or not. So what I would do is I would go to sleep. I would fall asleep by 8 o'clock, and then I'd wake up around 1 o'clock, and then I check the scores to see if I won or
Oh,
not.
I wouldn't be able to do that. If I was putting a lot of money on a game, I'd wanna watch it.
You know why, Chris? Because at the end of the day, I never knew which bets was good. I would pick 5 games or 5 totals. So I'd take $500 and I'd put $100 on each game. I never knew which one was gonna win. Like I never knew. I just knew these were the best 5 plays, and all I needed to do was win 3 to make a profit. So I would go to bed and I said, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna check these scores, and either I'm gonna win money or I'm not. Because I can't sweat these games because I'm going to stress myself the fuck out. Because it's like when you watch these, if I was only betting like once a week, Chris, I'd watch the game. Like when I bet football, I'd watch the game. But when you're betting baseball and basketball every single night, Chris, it becomes too stressful. You don't want to sit there and watch them fucking games. You just want to do your research, handicap your games, and get it over with. Make sure you got a good line. Make sure you beat the line. That's why I'm up early in the morning. So if I do all my handicapping between 3 and 7 in the morning, when they post the lines between 9:30, 10 in the morning, when all the lines are all shown when they're posted, I could bet my lines early. That was the whole point of me waking up at 3, 4 in the morning in my early 20s, was I got a couple hours to do my research and recap the previous night. So by 9, 10 in the morning, I could make my bet for the day. But like I said, like when you're betting that shit for a living and you know you got to make rent, and you know you got to eat, you don't want to sweat it. I respect anybody that can bet basketball and baseball, not football, because football's once a week. I can stomach it once a week. But if you're betting basketball and these basketball teams go on these 10-0 runs, and you got one team by 5 points and those fuckers just gave up 4 straight threes and now they're fouling because they can't stop nothing, it's stressful. When you're betting baseball and your starter goes out in the fifth or the sixth and there's 2 left on base and some gas can comes out the bullpen and you got the money line and he's about to give up, that shit is stressful. I didn't want to deal with it. So I had a sleep cycle where I would sleep those 5 or 6 hours where the games was on, I'd go to sleep. And I started doing that in my early 20s. And it's a habit that to this day I can't break. So now my body is so used to waking up at 4 in the morning that even if I wanted to sleep late, I couldn't. Now this 3 o'clock in the morning shit is, I don't know why I'm up at 3. But even before I was up at 3, it was like, nah, I'm up at 4 in the morning. Even when I stopped sports betting a couple years ago, I'm up at 4 in the morning. I can't. It's just, I'm 32 years old. I am who I am at this point.
Well, they're going to legalize sports betting here soon. When they do, I'm going to come to you for tips.
You know what I'm gonna tell you? Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's one thing I learned, and look, if y'all sports betting out there, look, do you? Because when I was in my prime, couldn't nobody tell me shit. But take it from me, the house always wins.
Of course.
You're not gonna beat those spreads. I try over unders, first halves, first quarters, player props. I tried to beat the spread. You're not gonna beat the book. You're not gonna do it. I tried, and you're not gonna get me. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, because when it comes to sports betting, it's all luck. I've handicapped. I've done so much research on these fucking games and gone like 0-5 before. It's like you can't call it. But what I'm gonna say is this: I've been 40, 50, plus 40, 50 units in a baseball season, in a basketball season, because I'm really, really good at going 3 out of 5. It's one of my specialties in life. If I pick 5 games, 9 out of 10 times I win 3 out of 5 of them. But what I have to understand is it's not easy, and you have to have the bankroll to do that shit. If you only got $500 and you're betting $50 a game, you're not gonna win long term. In order to be a successful sports bettor, when y'all get that, because a lot of New Yorkers in here, when you get successful sports betting, bet according to your bankroll. You have to win long term. If you try to beat these books short term, you're gonna go broke. Think of it long term. When people invest in stocks, they look at the end game. What's on long term investment, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same way with sports. If you're gonna bet sports, manage your money. Who cares about Tuesday in January? Look at your bankroll Friday in April. And that's the only way you're gonna win. Take it from somebody who lived this shit. You're not gonna beat these books on a day-to-day basis. Take your L's, take your wins the same way, and look at your bankroll at the end of the season. Trust me,
I
it'll
like it.
save you a lot.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm going to take your philosophy. No, I'm just going to do it for fun. I'm not doing it for professional, but I'll definitely bet on some of the playoff football games.
Yeah,
But yeah, I got to get some sleep, man. But I'm actually going to sleep past 3.
must be nice. I'll be up around 3. And what I'm gonna do at 3 o'clock when I wake up, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get something to eat my breakfast at 3 in the morning. I'm gonna put some work in. I got some things I need to take care of, and then I will probably go back to bed at 5 o'clock. I'll wake back up at 7, and then I'll start my day officially. I know it's weird. I get it. It's very weird, but that's exactly what I do. I wake up at 3, I put work in, and then I go to bed. I go back to bed at 5, then I wake up around 7, then I'm up for the day. It's weird. I know. Don't judge me. I'm a vampire. Fuck y'all. Yeah. We up out of here, man. It's 3 hours, 36 minutes. I appreciate all y'all for sticking around, hitting the like button. And if you want more Chris and I, we have a year worth of shows on my Fire Range podcast. There's a year worth of shows over there that y'all should, go check them out. And it's kind of fun to actually, you know what? I actually implore y'all to go check them out, because it's kind of fun to go back and see how we thought about the team in 2019.
It's fun, but at the same time depressing, right?
Yeah, because we still trash. So yeah, it can be depressing, but it is fun to go see like
what
how
our takes
Tate's
were.
panned out and stuff like that, So
Yeah.
But yeah, we up out of here, fellas. You anything you need to plug, Chris?
No. I mean, you guys can check me out. You guys know most of you guys in here probably know my channel, but and I started a new movie channel, so you can check that out as well. So the new Batman, not Batman, rather Spider-Man. Thought it was friggin' awesome.
We ain't even talk about that. Damn, we did 3 hours of 40 minutes and didn't even talk Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was awesome. But we'll save that for another podcast. But looking forward to seeing Matrix as well. So you can check that out too. Entertainah talking movies, Entertainah talking sports. But appreciate you having me on. Definitely gonna get you on my channel soon. Yeah, and we'll do this again, you know, when there's something worth talking about.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, appreciate you coming through, Chris.
All right. Be good, everybody.